am going live. We're getting prepared at you. Excuse me. And as always, it is going to be Wakaya, incredible. It's going to be beautiful. And this was the perfect opportunity to wear my Lyran shirt. And some of you are connected to these ancient aliens. This is part of our heritage. This is part of our record. And even if you don't remember, it is part of your memory inside that DNA. Whether that DNA is fragmented or not, you know, Makaye, Masutas. Thank you for being here. We are going beyond the ordinary consciousness, right? Mokoye. Chuma. Amakaye. It's like been beautiful, you know, because well, for some people they have to suffer. Other people's it's kind of like a natural thing, you know. You're kind of like feeling something missing, either something missing or you feel like something's driving you to go into the spiritual, into this, you would say, other world reality, okay? And that is where you're going to meet these higher beings, or even just, you know, have the awareness of these extraterrestrials. Greetings, Holy One. We're live, so we're going to have our brothers and sisters. Jazzy Gems. Greetings, Holy One. Kaya. So happy to see you. And everyone who's coming on in, you made it to the Kache. We're going to be talking about the Lyrans, Holy Ones. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff related to the Lyrans, including the Sphinx and the Great Pyramid, and also the, you would say, Leonines. It's an extraterrestrial race that connects you to the Lyran Anunnaki. And we don't just talk about another star constellation, we're talking about another level of reality, like dimension, higher, many dimensions above, at that Christ level, the 12th dimensional level. That is what is Christ, the consciousness at that level. Here we are in 3D, down here in the chakra system, out of many, you know, so we're at the, most people are around the 3rd. That is their consciousness. You know, some inspire, some of those in 3D are inspiring to go higher in their spiritual development. And that's what some of you are doing on your spiritual journey. All right. We got more of our Vato Locos. Ali AF. Greetings, Holy Ones. Welcome again. Sarah Twimlow. Oh, you guys have some positive vibes. Look at you. Shenanigans with love. All right. That's a good way to start. Candace in the Wood in the house. More and more superstars. Yeah. Lyran Night. That's what's up. I was looking for that emoji, man. It wasn't on my list. Thank you. I want to save that emoji. Oh, you did your homework, sister. Oh, I closed that window though, man. I guess I gotta reopen it. It's important. What's up, G? Oh yeah, here's my emoji. My emoji vatos. But this is, what? Okay. Do I do it like that? Yeah, that's good for now. I got it on there. All right. 150 Jonas, love, light, and peace. Man, what joy is it to walk into a room and everyone's saying such beautiful things. No, that's what we want, you guys. It's a vibration. This state of mind, of awareness, of realization is koachia, an awakening. Part of your ascension is awakening. You're coming aware of your higher identities. And tonight's topic, the Lyran Starseed, well, some of you identify with the Lyran Starseeds, even if you don't know what that means. You feel drawn. Well, hello, honey, that's the first clue right there. It doesn't say 100%, but that's the first starting point when you feel this something drawing you to these cat people, this Lyrans. And the reason why it's connected to the Sphinx is because, man, these beings are worshipped as a god by other people in our time periods. Like the Egyptians worship a cat deity, and also the guardians, one of the races are called Leonines. Okay, now this is a trip. Okay, because we're talking about this pyramid and the Sphinx. Well, those were actually created by good Anunnaki. Yeah. But not only, they helped the races of Earth, because they're from density 3, I believe. Because I know the Lyran Syrian created this, and so now it has to be under the Lyran Syrians, which is density 3. So these are, anyways, the Syrian Council is high level, man. And it's definitely at least for sure density 2. So these beings helped us in density 1 in Egypt, ancient Egypt, build our pyramids along with the Hebrew peoples and the the Ceres Egyptians, which is kind of like a hybrid race, you know, an advanced DNA race of the modern Egyptians. Excuse me. And look at that. These original Egyptian gods, Isis, Horus, you know, Osiris. These guys in Anubis, and especially Hathor. So these were originally positive Lyran guardians, and we don't just mean Lyran. Sorry, because guardian nations are. We're called angelic guardian nations. We're like 10 million of us in the Guardian Alliance alone at that level of consciousness. Then we go higher levels of administration. It's not administration as your government, you know. I like human government. And it's not hierarchy. As a matter of fact, if you're all into the angel system, well, honey, that's hierarchy. There is no hierarchy in Guardian Law of One. It's called Guardian Law of One because it's the guardians who follow the Law of One. Oh, you don't follow the Law of One, or you're following the opposite, the anti-Christos, against the Christos race, beings. Well, this is, looks like a family war, huh? So this family war doesn't like each other. No, well, you know, the light doesn't act that way. We have to go into defensive mode. We're not gonna attack you, try to, you know, kill something. No, that's not our way. Oh, it's surely your way. Yes, we know. So we are not practicing that way. And I got a very good question. I just got to say this before I forget. Someone was upset about his experiences in life, like a Native American who's suffering because he's been treated badly, and he says, in all his life. And you guys, this is a beautiful example, okay? We realize the suffering, and you have to realize there is not only personal karma, there's also race karma. Okay? This is from the guardian point of view, Holy Ones. I don't mean to offend anyone. I love all of you, law of one, honey. But we're saying there is something that within yourself, you must conquer this attack. This karmic influence has to be dealt with. You actually have to heal. Heal, because something is hurting deep inside. Inside. Go within. It's consciousness. Consciousness is spirit, energy. Energy is conscious, alive. And we know the matrix is made out of consciousness. All the dimensions, all the universes and galaxies and planets and beings and things. Ooh, baby, feel that current. Oh, I see. Cool, yeah, you can feel it in your hand chakra. You have a chakra in the middle of your palms. Palm chakra, same thing with your feet. Feet chakra in the middle of your soles, connecting you to earth. That's why it's always good to walk barefoot. I'm always barefoot. Not always. If I go walking, I'm in a desert and it's hot climate and there's scorpions and snakes and things. You won't get very far without a cactus prick, without some creature not happy. So otherwise, I'm always barefoot, for sure, inside. Connecting yourself, connect, because you got feet chakra there that go along this lines up your, you know how you see a diagram of your nervous system? Well, there's ones going up from your feet. Well, there's energy lines, they call meridians. Well, Guardians call, we have a diagram that shows these lines of energy from your head spreading through your arms, going down your torso and down each leg. You have these lines of energy recognized by other people, like acupuncture, traditional Chinese medicine, Tai Chi systems, Qigong systems, any type of energy systems who are trying to understand this system. What is this prana, and how do you use it? Well, that's what these systems teach you, to become a master of energy, a master of consciousness. Most 3D humans are not even remotely there. They're into the matrix. They're into social life, and we're not judging. We're saying this is not going to work. It's literally going to fail. You have to reach higher. Reach higher, holy ones. Raise your frequency, raise your love, do your healing. Some of you are hurting. You can't sit there and dwell on this pain. You have to do the opposite of that. The opposite of focusing on the pain is to make a change inside here. And then that will reflect into your physical world. Just like now, your karma is reflecting. So go through that, Holy One. Transmute. It's like inner alchemy. Alchemical. You are transforming this pain, healing it, understanding it, and releasing it. And no longer dwell, bring back. That's what dwell means. You're going to dwell and think about it again and again. You're bringing it back. It's here now, in your fields, in your manifestations. So there's a pattern you have to break. Machiwa. So these Lyran Starseeds are like indigo children coming to help this hurting world. This world, the planet is suffering. The earth has been ill for a very long time. 25,000 years the earth has been ill from the distortions, the manipulations by these extraterrestrials, fallen angelic races, multidimensionals. These beings did something to our planet's Merkaba. Using technology. These beings do not have these akochia. They don't have connection to life force. They don't have life force. They're dying. They're finite without consuming energy. Consume. Girl, my holy ones, Achiwa. Big bear hug, yeah. Talking about my vatos in live chat. Akiwas. It's strong. Lyran Starseed. Oh yeah, baby. Koye Masutas. The Flame. Ah, you're so awesome, Flame. You're like a superhero, man. Oh, well, you might have to turn up the gain, man. Usually in the post-production I can fix it, but right now it's... Is there anyone else being able to hear okay? Can you guys hear okay? Anyone else? Isabel! Oh my gosh. Thank you, Holy One, for being you, Isabel. Ali AF. Yes, Holy One. And speaking of guides, even like literally, like it's been like 5 or 6 years ago, I connected to Lion. And even if you guys don't understand that, well, once you do understand that, look back, you will realize you were shown signs. These beings, before you were able to develop your psychic perception of them or awareness of them or became aware of them, well, they were trying to reach you. Maybe some of those got through in dreams. Like for me, it was first coming in my dreams. And this is incredible because some of these beings were very lucid. Like a lucid dream stands out way apart from a regular dream. And that's like now here you're engaging in spirit, man. A real being is interacting with you. So, however your lucid dream is, I've seen several of my animal spirit guides in lucid dreams. I've seen my bumblebee, one of my first spirit guides, not the first, I mean, like the top 10 was with a bumblebee. And man, I saw these beings in lucidly, and they came oh my gosh, it was so incredible. It was like they were in the ground. I saw them. They were like part of the ground. I thought it was a decoration, but they became alive, and they came out of that ground, out of the earth, and they were beings. I don't know. It was. I've seen the same thing with my butterfly spirit guide, and also my fox spirit guide, and this one was not like you think a regular fox might be. This one was very loving. Very, very happy and jumping on me, kissing me, loving on me. Wow. So I've had many spirit guides. Thank you for mentioning that. Because these are parts of you, man. It was filled with so much love. Part of you loves you so much. That yourself is your own angel, your higher self. That's what we're doing. You see us awakening our DNA, our chakras. We're becoming aware of our higher family. And that's an identity that's a plural form. You realize yourself as many, that you are these spirit guides. It's a collectives. You are a part of this huge family. Every one of you. Just the fact that you're here means you have many of yourselves in all these different time vectors, it's called, throughout the structure of time, of the hologram, the illusion, the perception of time. There is really no space-time, but because of how, like, say, animation works, there is no moving video. It's an illusion it's actually made in pictures, what you call frames, a bunch of frames connected together and giving you the illusion of a movie. Is reality like that? Every moment is another JPEG. every moment is not moving. You're not actually moving. Wow, man, don't trip me out, Davian. Life is like this. Huh? It's the perception of consciousness, of time, of space. But there's neither time or space. You are utterly pure consciousness that jumped into a hologram field, and it's like a toy. It's like a trip. It's like a machine that makes you feel like you're in a reality. Kind of like Total Recall, you know, the movie. He goes into a reality. I mean, they connect into a machine, and then he kind of passes out because he becomes awake inside the virtual world. You're not this physical body. You're the energy construct, a spirit being that's participating in this hologram. You are ascended masters participating in a hologram. So you're all equal. Some of you are playing the bad guy, but you're all these guys, girls, guys. There's no gender. There's no gender out there. Okay, these eternal collectives of consciousness that are perpetual forever are participating in a 15-dimensional time matrix called a hologram of matter. They're inside a hologram of matter in ours, of many. So just imagine uncountable amount of beings that are in these eternal collectives, the Ascended Masters. Well, they're just like something that's hard to understand. But that's you, that's part of you. You're part of those eternal collectives who become smaller collectives inside a hologram, and then those collectives create races of collectives, and the races of collectives create lower beings in the third dimension density, and then the second density, and on down to you, the individual incarnate, not actual individual. We perceive down here as an individual, but we're not. But if you're a spiritual person opening these awarenesses, you are. You are like these beings now. You're feeling yourself as many memories, many lifetimes. This concept of reincarnation, well, this Hindu point of view, where it's just, oh, I was one person and now I'm not. Now I'm a different person and now I'm not. No. Those are all you now, simultaneously. Okay? This is multidimensional physics, unified field physics. This is simultaneous. All these identities. And what you do is you become aware of all these identities. And then that's you now. You're benefiting now in the 3D. We're embodied here. This is our starting point for our consciousness to go beyond this point and to look beyond our older parts, you know, because we're here in 3D, but we have a 2D self. So we have higher selves, but we also have lower selves. Those lower selves are part of your whole consciousness, a part. So you think with the lower consciousness, subconscious. You think with the reasoning mind, the ego. Okay? Well, the subconscious is separate on its own. In its level, that's all there is, just itself. But then there's another dimension of reality. That's frequency is going faster. Okay? Well, this frequency has inside of it dimension 1. Does it not? It has 2 strands instead of 1. So a 2-strand being has 2 levels of itself, 2 consciousness levels at once, instead of just 1 consciousness at once. This is kind of like a more evolved being. Oh, now come along the 3D people, us humans. Now we have us and our lower selves. Same with the fourth dimensional astral being. That being has all of those cells. So we're just seeing us, the second D, and the first D. This is our reality. At the 2D level, they don't see us. We're spirits to them. To us, an astral being is a spirit. You would say spirit. Well, that's you in the future, but also that future is happening now. Because just imagine if there's 15 dimensions, right? So imagine them all, take them vertical and go like this, and they're all going at the same time. Like mini bars of music, and then turn them, you're going to be only doing one bar of music. Oh, now you're doing two at once. Now you're doing three at once. This is consciousness expanding at each level. It's not like you were at 3D and then you left it and you don't have 3D in you anymore. No, you have 3D still, but you also have 4D. You evolved if you ascended. That's what you do when you ascend. You go to the next level, but you're still going to remember all of this in your DNA. It's in your DNA. You'll be let's say you're an archetype, fifth dimensional consciousness. Well, you're going to have the astral inside you, the ego, the reasoning mind, and the subconscious mind. Which is what? Those are races of beings. Like, for example, your second dimensional emotional chakra is the Lemurians. You realize they were a matriarchy. They were, that's why they were emotional. No, it's for real. Their religion, what they did was based on the leadership of women. So, no wonder they were, like, bullied and basically killed by the Atlanteans. These were peaceful, law of one, serving guardians, okay? But they only had 2 strands. Atlanteans had 3 strands. It's kind of like you get a primitive people that you would call primitive in technology suddenly meet an advanced people like Columbus and stuff. The Spaniards come along, conquistadors, and there's not much of a match. Same thing with Lemurians and Atlanteans. They're about spirit. They're not even thinking about weapons. But they have to learn about protection, but they just couldn't do it. The fallen angelics started getting inside the drama of Atlantis, and then with this drama, it's kind of like the illuminated ones. You know who I'm talking about. There was illuminated ones in the Atlantis man, which were what? Fallen angelic Anunnaki. Are all Anunnaki bad? No, we're not talking about the good ones. I just did. They're the ones that helped build the pyramid. Then you got the bad ones going into these cities of our ancient past. Atlantis and Egypt are connected, buddy. Those are together. Anyways, they were starting conflict. And so you had the Lemurians go to a different continent because of this. But just because they left didn't mean the Atlanteans were going to leave them alone. They wanted to destroy the Lemurians. So, can you imagine how they were probably so egotistical and trying to bully, how the men could be towards females if they're trying to scare them or frighten them. They were probably just doing this in those days, you understand? And then they just know. Obviously, this is a spiritual war, man. And all these Anunnaki illuminated ones, well, there's you, the Lyran. There's you, the Indigo Children. Okay? You are the Holy Grail. They're the fallen ones, and inside these periods of history, and you're the guardians inside those periods of history. And remember what I said, the positive Anunnaki built the Sphinx. They're the Syrian council who helped these Earth, like the people on Earth, the Atlanteans, well, I'm sorry, the Ceres Egyptians and the Hebrew people and the Anu Melchizedeks. There's a few races involved in the building of the pyramid, but obviously the extraterrestrial Syrian Council, Syrian meaning from Sirius, that's where the leadership of the guardianship comes from. They're coming from the Syrian Council, which has positive Anunnaki. So it's really silly when some of you keep telling me this nonsense about Anunnaki when I tell you that there's good ones. Okay? So anyways, when you got your Anunnaki acting and behaving like creator gods, hello. Law of one or not? Are you law of one? Okay, creator gods, false creed. You're not part of the false creed, are you? If you're following that, you are. Which means what? Fallen angelic. Those dark aliens, if you want to call them. Dark aliens we call fallen angelics because they are part of angelic races. Okay? The Anunnaki races started around this ninth dimension because it was a hybrid of the higher Jehovian Anunnaki. That's the only pure Anunnaki, the Jehovians. So the Jehovians, well, someone got their DNA from the Draconians and made a Anunnaki Draconian mix. That's a hybrid. Now there's a bunch of hybrids of Anunnakis. They're not the real Anunnakis, but they got mixed in their DNA. So through genetic manipulation, because now also there's all kinds of Anunnakis from different worlds. But the ones that we have to deal with is Inky Anunnaki, Enlil Anunnaki, Marduk Anunnaki, and the Pleiadian Semyasi Luciferian Anunnaki. So this is pretty crazy. These are a lot of dark beings who call themselves the Luciferian Covenant. Wow, nice people. No, not nice. And we do talk about this history. It's part of our history, man. And they go and twist all this sacred religion. You would say this: the guardians are always bringing the law of one, innerchristos. And the ancient word, or you would say the Lyran word, I teach some of this Lyran words already, you guys. Eventually, we're going to have a whole vocabulary list of what we're learning from the Guardian material, which is Ashiana Dean and her Voyagers books. This is actually the book I am teaching from. Now, of course, I'll be teaching more than just from this book. I have already, because a lot of the information is not from this, but from other workshops. So this is a spiritual system that you resonate with or not. It's probably something like you've never heard before. Like today, we're talking about a race called the Lyran Starseeds, from Lyra constellation, from the planet called Armatena. This is where the Lyrans come from. A Lyran, actually all races come out of Lyra. Actually, all life came out of Lyra. I know, and then when our scientists look up, they see it seems like a very insignificant constellation, a small constellation. But the truth is, the Guardians tell us, they call this the cradle of Lyra. This is where all cradle, babies, birth, everything came out of Lyra, out of the cradle of Lyra. I like using the Guardian terms. So, out of the cradle of Lyra, in the cradle of Lyra, you had 3 original planets from the blue flame, one from the blue flame, Armatena. Okay, another one, was Vega, and for the gold flame, gold order. And then there was Avion, a planet called Avion for the violet flame races. So these are the 3 founder races on 3 planets from Lyra. And of course, we're talking about today the Lyran Starseeds. So you're the Lyrans from the blue flame. This is what indigos are. Why do you think they're called blue people? They come from the Maharaji. That's why they're called, which are the blue humans. Which, you see some depictions like in some of the Hindu gods have blue skin. Oh, not only the Hindus. There's other beings who mention these blue people. This is Indigo Children. Not from, we look like humans down here because we came into this DNA down here, but originally you're going to look like a Maharaji blue human. who are very extremely high level beings, and this is our prodigy if you're Indigo child. But Maharaji, shortened Maharaji, is magi, magician. Anyways, this is what an Indigo child is coming from, and you're gonna look different though. You have mixtures of mostly feline, human, hominid, but mixed with bird hominid. So some of these Orapheme angel, what were called Oraphemes originally. So you guys understand, we're the Starseeds for a reason. The humans are part of our lower selves. I'm not trying to be derogatory to Earth. I'm saying the Earth seeds, there's 7 races of you in different time periods. And then there's these Indigo races with freaking up to 12 dimensions, but obviously you go beyond that. But we're helping the Earth go back to its Christed level. Once you get to your DNA to at least 6 strand, well, you guys don't have to buy the physical book. It's outrageous because it's been out of print and now it's a collector's item sold for like over $500. Which, by the way, I'm curious. I don't have my glasses, those glasses, but I was trying to see what year or well, this is the 2nd edition. I can't see a price on here. Oh, $20. $20-something. I don't have my glasses, but now it's like $500. I can't read that number. But anyways, you can get the PDF on her website for $17. Some people are giving it out, I think. I don't know. You just look and find Voyagers 1 or Voyagers 2. If you want to learn about all of the details of the Egyptian history and Atlantis and the different periods of Lemuria and different, you would say, different versions of Lemuria and Atlantis, because we were destroyed already twice by the Anunnaki. Oh no, one was the Draconian. They wiped us out in the 2nd seeding. So we're trying to progress, and some of the there is some bad news about some of the stuff, and it just trips you the hell out. There's something called the fail-safe. We're in fail-safe mode. So a lot of things that were some of the things were changed basically because this is an act of drama, dude. This is happening, okay? A drama on many different levels and dimensions, all the way up there to the higher levels. And we know that war goes all the way up to the 11th dimension. This is where all the fallen angelic war is coming from. Okay, it's not even our war, dude. It's something that got brought to us through the dimensions. Now we're experiencing this spiritual war because of those beings, the Anu Elohim, which is the fallen Elohai, which to us is the Lyran Starseeds. Your true self is a feline hominid. Why do you think there's this giant, what do you want to call it, statue called the Great Sphinx in Egypt? And, well, honey, this from this cat people. So, feline hominids, upright, beautiful avatar beings, Christed avatars. Imagine them. So we are part of that as human. The Lyran Anuhazi is called. That's your original form. We're Anuhazi. So you go through the stages of DNA. Well, as you go through the stages of DNA, you start looking different. Why do you think all these sacred depictions of gods have animal parts in them? And you think of animals as lowly? You got it all wrong. There's animal beings That is a lower version of those God beings. God. Those are lower versions at the 3D level of a 12th dimensional cat being. For example, your little kitty cat is a Lyran, but a lower version of DNA. Like a Lyran will eventually become a little cat, feline creature being. And you know there's different cats, felines, different Lyrans, different parts of what the DNA of what is a Lyran. You are part of that. And so there's a giant freaking cat representing the Lyran people from the Christ. Oh my gosh, dude, this sounds so incredible. That Sphinx represents Christ, dude. The 12th dimensional consciousness, the 12th dimensional avatars, man. Of course, the Anunnaki who built this are connecting to the Leonines, but the Leonines come from the Anuhazi Lyran. Well, we now you understand we fell. I mean, parts of us fell. Well, there's lower versions of Lyrans. There's the Lyran Sirin Anuhazi. That's what they're called by the Guardians. Lyran Sirin, because we remember the history. The great sin is when the freaking Anunnaki, excuse me, it brings up emotion, when the Anunnaki destroyed Stargate 11. Well, they actually, no, they did Stargate 12, and they blew up our planet, the Stargate. So that would literally block anyone who had 12 strands now from leaving the 12th dimension or going to the 12th dimension, because it was severed in your DNA. Because the planet of this Anuhazi was destroyed. So this is why the Lyrans had to flee and fell and went to Sirius, our friends in Sirius B. So Lyrans became Lyran Sirin. We have to respect who helped us, and that's now, but now we're their people too. We're part of their people and they're part of us. So, you know, we're family with the Sirius. A lot of these races who are positive are coming from Sirius. But remember, there's a Sirius A. That doesn't mean they're better or something. It just means that's what the scientists call these planets. So we have Sirius, where a lot of guardian races, and on some of the fallen races are come from, like Jehovah and Anunnaki. All right, they're from Sirius. They're from originally Vega. Remember? No. Anunnaki are fallen Elohim, so they're from Lyra. Oh, they come from the Avion. The fallen Elohai are in Dimension 11. That's why there's fallen. That's where that's the highest level. A 12th dimensional being fell to 11th dimension. So at this point there is no 11 and a half yet. That doesn't exist yet. But first, fallen Elohai decided to break the law of one and start harming and killing and destroying planets and stuff. Well, they waged war on everybody originally. Originally they're doing this because the Guardians would not kill the Draconians. The Anunnaki asked them to please. They're called Anu Elohim. Well, they're actually called the Anu at this point. The Anu race, which is aquatic feline ape. Try to imagine that being. I can't find no pictures of it on the internet. Anyways, you can try to word it differently. But we're not talking about the Anunnaki. We're talking about the Anu Elohim. What do they look like? They're called feline aquatic ape because they're part of the violet flame race called Yoni, which is an aquatic ape, and an Anuhazi Christ 12 strand being. So that created a feline aquatic ape. So I have some pictures. But What is a 12? What does an 11-dimensional feline aquatic ape really look like, right? Kochimasi, yeah. Ukwa. Let's see. Seakwa. Mata. How you guys doing, Holy Ones? What's going on? Meow meow. Kajit. Oh, I love Skyrim. Oh my gosh. I think I played that race because they were good at magic or something. So, I love that game. I was disappointed in the follow-up, which was, well, I liked Morrowind. Well, not Morrowind, but there's a few levels, and the Oblivion one kind of disappointed me. Then Skyrim is even farther. I didn't go that far, but I started it, but I didn't get that far. Makaya. If you're a Indigo child, most likely you're probably into like fantasy games and movies. Thank you for being here, Isabel. And she's a member, yeah. Samantha Vargas, hey, Holy One, look at you. Representing that Lyran smile. Brian Chiv. Plamantix. I don't know what that is, Holy One. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, the Daisy of Death is coming from the Drumvalo camp. He's the one that created that. He was proud of it, right? I remember seeing his video talking about it. Kochivas. And he's teaching this in his Ascensions. In his Ascensions, well, he had like conventions or something, or seminars, kind of like, I mean, we're not trying to hate on Drumvalo. Just, we're guardians, you don't do this. But we're pointing out when there is someone trying to trick you in the guardian information. Like, this is misrepresenting. So publicly we say something, not to create hate, but to create awareness of, if you want to go there, well, this is the guardian stance. You know, so you don't have to, you do whatever you want, right? I mean, they were trying to help out the Atlanteans. There would always be council represented. And the Anunnaki developed this animosity in the Atlantean people, and created this, you know, the illuminated ones in that time period. They're actually called the Templar Solar Initiates, and that was the name of those people, illuminated ones back in those days. They've been around, you guys, and I made videos about this even recently. These are hybrids. But Draco hybrids and human, alien, reptilians. These are, you would say, appear as human, but not only human, only partial human. So, does that mean we're trying to say they're bad too? No. Once again, remember your guardian law of one, but we make you. Like, this is information to help you be aware of the dangers and what has happened in our history and why we're in this problem to begin with. In order to even understand a lot of things, those are missing pieces from your memory and from your identity. You don't know the higher structure, Holy Ones. You don't start thinking about those parts. You don't become aware of them. You're not benefiting. You know, your potential is kind of like skewed and severely like limited. Almost like the valve, you're about to turn off the current all the way, but you just leave a tiny bit. You're just getting a tiny bit. Machua. Mokoye. So no hate, just make your fellow brothers and sisters aware in a loving manner. Like, I've noticed on Facebook, you'll get people being negative about even my clips of Ashiana. They're talking about her. And I'm like always protecting, like, defending from a guardian point of view. But we're sweet and we call respectful and honorable to people. Even when they're like this person, from another people complained to how people are racist to him. But Holy One, that's something within you. Like think about this basic concept. Nobody can make you angry. Only you allow yourself to become angry. Please understand this principle. So, no one can make you feel bad. Nobody. You made yourself feel bad. Yeah, some people can scream and yell at you, maybe slap you around. Of course, you want to get out of that situation, relationships. You got to have boundaries, but otherwise, man, it's within yourself. You have to conquer this. You have to go beyond. It might take a lot of effort, a lot of meditation, a lot of breath work, a lot of spiritual work, ego work. They call it shadow work. This is, elementary. There's still so much more you got to do. You have to actually. It's like taking many lifetimes, and in one lifetime, you're trying to get it all done. Kind of like you have to get it all done. Kind of like you don't graduate college if you don't pass this test you have coming up in 2 days. Like this. Because of being in the fail safe. We're in the fail safe. Damn. Not impossible, just difficult. Like, you better work. Start making spirituality your, like a majority of your thoughts and energy. Focus. Because of the time it really takes to transform your consciousness. Some of you are already on the ball. Like, you went through all that shadow and ego, hopefully. Treat people nice. Like, when you get to the point of treating people nice automatically, like naturally, without kind of like making yourself smile, when it's just natural, you just feel this energy and you don't even think. Like, dude, I'll share something personal. Like, when I was younger, in my 20s and shit, I was like horny and thinking about girls all the time and sex all the time. My hormones were totally different, and I was like not spiritual. So well, anyways, why did I make that analogy? I don't know. I started thinking about that, like, okay, but you have to learn from that. I hope you learn from your past self when you were maybe less evolved in your spiritual understanding. You didn't know much stuff as you know now. So yeah, I made a lot of mistakes then, but we don't dwell on that because you went beyond that, right? So don't keep going, dragging your energy that way. Then you're losing, like, demerit instead of expansion. Like, you're kind of like stepping backwards. How many times you guys step backwards? 1 step forward, 3 step backwards. Well, break patterns, go through those shadow and ego, and live a life of law of one thoughts until you're not done, until it's happening. You would say 24/7, or it's just part of your code. It's just part of your speech. It's just part of your feeling and your thinking. Then you've progressed from what you used to be. Dang, even 5 years ago. That was before I was even homeless. I still had a lot to go through. So we do that. You know, or not. So some of you are awakening, are going through this ascension, learn about your heritage. Man, if you're human, that template comes from Lyra. Comes from these Lyran beings that are represented in the Great Sphinx on this planet. So, yes, they also helped build the pyramid. So, this was not a burial a tomb of some, Anunnaki or reptilian, Dracon type of pharaoh. No, Chikama. These were built by those powerful races when we were ruling with the Law of One until it was taken over by the Anunnaki through the Atlantean conspiracy of the Luciferian covenant. Those beings were winning, like, you know, what's his name says, Martin Sheen. Winning. They were winning. So. And now they're winning again. We're in the failsafe. Does that mean we suck? Damn, Indigos, get your shit together. Excuse me. We gotta come together. Not like we're supposed to be saviors or gonna be saviors. This really can't be done without us. We're the ones that actually, like, trying to get the hurdle over for Earth to get enough juice, because the consciousness affects the particle spin, the consciousness, of the planet. You raise the consciousness by putting more indigos in. More indigos, the consciousness goes up. No indigos, okay, they go out. No more. You fall in your consciousness. The Earth doesn't make it. Well, some of it doesn't. That's what you call an ascension cycle. Some of it ascends while the other one falls. You're separating from the light. It's kind of like being filtered out in an ascension cycle at the end of it. Because I know it takes time to phase into another density matter, there's something there between the third dimension and the fourth dimension. It's called a magnetic repulsion zone. Nothing can get through there unless you have access to the Stargate. You can't take some spaceship and go into the fourth dimension by keep flying and keep flying and keep flying. No, sorry, you can't go warp 9, it doesn't matter. There's a magnetic repulsion zone. So time recycles on the density 1, and the new Earth, the people who ascended go into density 2. But most of it is falling. We're in failsafe, honey. Most of the Earth is falling. Makaya, so there's incentive to go to the light and to go fix your this distortions that is karma. We're suffering, yes. Not only you, Holy One. We're all suffering because of karma. Because of not only individual karma, but because of race, tribe. It's called your tribe shield. Your DNA is part of the bigger tribe DNA. That which is the human race of this time period. So we know this and challenge on Earth, and we know that it's in failsafe, and we just are like, wow, still serving and still gonna keep moving forward and learning serious ascension boot camp. Makaya Masuta Hakaya. There's a few speakers of this Law of One innerchristos information. They don't call it that. I do. I straight up will tell you it's innerchristos. Ashiana will refer to innerchristos sometimes. She starts calling it Galactic science, though, mostly. But it's Galactic science is part of innerchristos, which is this giant tome of guardian knowledge offered to all blue flame races You're coming from Blue Flame. Well, you get the whole enchilada. I mean, they tell you what exists in history in this Maharata. The guardian races from the higher stellar worlds are giving us... No, this tome exists. It's called the CDT plates. They're like crystal technology. And this is a holographic disc that have all of this data. It's always here. And then people like Ashiana are taught to access it and bring the guardian knowledge. She actually had to be attuned, she had to be taught, she had to be, it took her whole like youth and from little girl, and made this until she was able kind of like to come out and talk about this knowledge. If you notice, even at the very beginning, she's like freaking on it, man. So who knows how she must have probably wrote a lot of things in her own memoirs or something, leading up to this coming out with the guardian knowledge. And a lot of you connect to this Voyagers or this whole tome of knowledge called the innerchristos, Maharata. The ancient word is called Maharata. Say it with me, Maharata. Which is interesting because we know what Maharata is, right? It's 12th dimensional energy. 12th, which is consciousness. 12th dimensional consciousness is what? Christ consciousness. You are Christ consciousness. Christ is returning to earth. You are learning to awaken that which you have in your DNA, and that is activation, what you call DNA activation. You're going to activate, and then you will see these beings. You will learn to communicate with these beings within your 12th dimensional Maharata shield. There's that word again. So, this is, as a Lyran, this is our knowledge. This is what we learned. This is what we're part of. This is the Emerald Covenant knowledge, which is blue flame knowledge. And we say these things not to be all, you realize the source of it. Emerald Order, now we're dealing with the Holy Elohai races, which the Lyrans represent, which the Sphinx on our planet represents that heritage. Yes, made by the positive Anunnaki, with the Ceres Egyptians and the Hebrews and the Anunnaki, they created this. And also, both the Great Pyramid and the Sphinx have been damaged 2 times already, and both of those times, this is the 3rd time. So, it was destroyed twice. So now we have a 3rd version, which is not the best one. So, the restoration the 3rd time sucks, right? It doesn't look great. But realize that this pyramid was freaking amazing originally. So, this is our heritage. And it's almost 50,000 years old, these structures. And they were rebuilt at certain periods in ancient past. But it certainly was not originally made as a burial tomb, okay? And realize most of those pharaohs that are dark, obviously, are these fallen races representing in the flesh. They're hybrids now on Earth. They're called the illuminated ones. They're not only human. They're part human, but part these beings, part of these fallen races. Now, all of these hybrids on the planet who represent this race, not all of you are dark. Obviously, some of you have chosen to be light. So, yes, once again, there's good Anunnaki, hello, and there's bad ones. It's beneficial for you to know the difference and to make decisions, because you couldn't make such decisions if you're not aware of this. Now you're aware of it. You're a Lyran. Hey, this is spiritual war for everyone here. But this is our planet. We're under attack. They're taking over. They've already taken over So, a lot of us have died in these periods. We lived these horrors. When Armatana was destroyed, when our people are being attacked and slaughtered, they always, the dark illuminated ones, they always are seeking guardian Maharata, innerchristos, not exactly specifically, but anything that represents the ideals of that, have long since been twisted and changed. So it's books like the Voyagers, they're physical books, there's tomes, there's workshops, there's videos. I'm not just speaking nonsense because I've had some of you say that. There's a tome of knowledge behind this. You would say a giant library, a lifetime of work of Ashana and her organization, which represents the guardian nations. This is what the innerchristos is what the higher stellar worlds follow. The law of one is universal, not just for our people, not from some fifth dimensional extraterrestrial Egyptian god, for example. No. Makaya. Thank you for being here on my live, Vato Locos. Yeah. Sutas. I'll make a separate video about the CDD plates, the Maharata text. It's very interesting. Kind of like when you think about the Dead Sea Scrolls. Oh, there's some part of human history, that's not in the mainstream. We talk about this history all the way back to 50,000 years and even before. We talk about the angelic history going all the way back to billions of years, literally. So, it's empowering knowledge, not disempowering. Makayas. I love you guys. Thank you for being here on this live. You're so beautiful. Where's my... This is it. Yeah, the Lyran and Orion Wars. Candace Machiwa, to you, Holy One. Would love to connect into that wisdom. If you were not honest speaking truth, I would feel here. Yes, Holy One, this is true. And nowadays, you can't just sit there and bullshit. Excuse me, like some people do, because there's people that have actual abilities and they can perceive, like literally in their senses, their perceptions, they can see. You can see people's aura, you can see people's feels, you can see their emotions, you can empathically feel them, intuitively perceive them. There's a matter of ethics, but don't do it. Would you want someone doing that to you? So part of a guardian's life should be psychic warfare. No, excuse me. Like, because of psychic warfare, you want psychic defense. Sorry, you want psychic defense against, kind of like in Harry Potter, they call it the defense against the dark arts. Okay, because a lot of people, one of the highest sought after terms on all these social media is stuff like witchcraft and people into that dark stuff. It's the highest searched terms. It's in the billions on TikTok. You see where people's minds are on this world. So, anyways, if you follow that stuff, I'm not judging you, Holy One. I love you. This is Law 1. You can practice whatever the hell you want. We're just saying that there's a takeover here, man. There's darkness going on, and this war is significant in our freedoms and all that. It goes into political. I don't talk about political, but I do talk about the spiritual. It was funny because someone made a comment saying on my Fallen Angelic video, it says, hey, you're not talking about the spiritual side. Dude, did you notice I'm a spiritual channel? I talk about spirit, all the time in my videos. He must have just found me for the first time or something, right? Candace! Yeah. They don't like that 12D current. No, seriously, they can't take the 12D current. I mean, don't start, we're not going to start being egotistical and say, I'm a Christ being, I can't be harmed. So realize we're like still babies here, but we are becoming awakened. There are some terribly dangerous beings out there who have developed their powers to high levels, and when you want to focus your life, your thoughts, your natural reactions and actions in life, well, that's gonna like dismiss those type of energies. You're gonna be resonating, and you won't see maybe that light shining, but those beings in those fields are trying to go into your fields. Well, you're high vibing. That's like bleach or something. They don't want to be around that. Maharata. Keep bringing it in. Twice a day, you're fortifying that your disc, the 12D disc, that is actually manifesting, projecting your pillar. You get used to feeling something 12 inches below your feet. There's always this disc, 8 to 9 feet out. Big. It's big. Like a little miniature tiny island you're on. But, it's a giant disc of energy, but twice a day you recharge it. Because our visuals are kind of like weak. Like, for example, if you stare at something, like something not complicated at first, maybe like a simple diagram or object like a rubber ball, or because if it has many parts, it's hard to visualize. You got to give yourself a chance. I don't really have an object like that. I mean, maybe something like this. Well, there's no detail here. Something with some detail, as simple as a logo, you see it. If you need glasses, make sure you use glasses to see it, so you can close your eyes and see it in your mind. Test yourself by looking at something for as long as you need to. Kind of like, there's a technique where you can like inhale and imagine that you're bringing it in while you're staring at it. It's a duo technique, right? So you're going to breathe in, inhale, code, this energy, which is what? This is light. This is energy that you're staring at and pulling it in with the inhale and sending it to you can shoot it up to your third eye, but just realize that you're moving your current, man. You're moving your conscious awareness. You become, like I keep saying, an energy and consciousness master. So what does that imply? Think about a black belt. That implies a lot of work to get there. So these beings who are aware on the dark side are mighty foes. Okay, we will talk about some of these beings that Ashiana's talking about. And wow. Machiwa. Katasa. If you want my opinion, if you want to understand exactly everything you need, you would go to and start investing in her information. Going through the KDD1, the KDD2, the KDD3, these are living discourses on galactic science and becoming a master of energy and a master of consciousness. Go as far, I know there's a paywall. If some people are finding content outside, but still Telegram. Some people are gonna do it. They want to know. If they can't find it free, then they're gonna pay. So okay, and you learn this because there's some changes from old material only because this is an active, ongoing thing, and they have won some. How much advance, you would say. I'm getting this contact, or this. Give me a few seconds. Literally a few seconds. Okay. There is so much. I can't believe there's so much high knowledge available to you. So, just so you guys know that there was in 2012, Ashiana. I'm still getting this connect notice. Maybe this is happening for a reason. Am I still online? Can you guys still see me? Basically, this, you guys know, it's public knowledge that there's originally 3 speakers. Now there's only her. Something didn't happen to them. They're still alive. What I mean is, there was a disagreement. So now she had to change the name. She had to make her a new corporation. It's public knowledge. She puts this on her own website that she had to create a new corporation because the other 2 speakers stole her. This is just my opinion. Took some of her copyrights. They're thinking they're speaker 1 or 2 and 3, so they have some clout, some right. I don't know. If you guys remember, it's Ashiana Dean speaking and teaching in all the freaking video. Sorry. I get protective over Ashiana. She was the actual speaker who was speaking, in other words. He spoke sometimes. I rarely saw the woman speak, but you know, this is done loving. There's just no organization anymore. There's no more. That information is supposedly not supposed to be available to anyone. Anything before 2012, and now you understand why. That is why I'm telling you why she does this. Because I get your emails telling me, why is she hiding? She's not. Her website is there. Look, it's there. She has her courses there. Because this courses were stolen. So, not to mention, that's when the divorce happened. Her name is no longer Ashiana Dean. But you guys are going to keep calling her Ashiana Dean, so you still have to use her name sometimes. It's Iyasha Ashana now. Iyasha Ashana. Akoichi. There goes that energy. The Dean energy is gone. Iyasha Ashana. So, give respect. Respect is due. I'm kind of like a modern speaker of this information. I'm not saying I'm an expert or endorsed by her even. I'm saying that there's only a few of us speaking, and I made my pledge to you to be as close to that 100% mark as possible in accuracy of her information. Not steering, not putting my own spin on it like some people have. And I'm not talking about the 2 who I do talk about in a favorable manner, who's actually, she's more advanced than me, is Lisa Renee. I got the question, was she speaker 2 or 3? No, she's a student like us. She's been studying this since 2003, I think. That's why she's so ahead. I wasn't. I didn't come along till 2010. And then even after that, I was still healing. I was still going through consciousness, awakening. I didn't even know what an indigo was yet. Even though I learned a lot of some information from 2010. But, you know, we get distracted, we get blocked, we get challenged, we get failures. We're indigos, man. It's not easy. But once you get that drive, you get that passion, then you start focusing, and now you take it serious, and you're like, whoa, now I'm dealing with not just my own self. I'm feeling these guardian beings, and I know they've had this loving hand. Why? Because I kept asking for it. You want to, you want, somebody's going to say some stupid shit about that. Excuse me. You guys want to connect to these beings? Well, start thinking about them. Start asking. Start connecting. It's not an foreign or external consciousness or spirit. It's you. Put that intention. I am connecting to my higher self. Only love and light. Law of one. Make it specific so you don't have one of your dark selves that happen to be up there, because you can still be dark all the way up to 11.5 specifically. So you don't want to connect to one of those. So first of all, you're already changing your consciousness, hopefully, and then you're kind of being guided, kind of like a little bit of magnetism involved. You will get a little bit of better connection than someone who's totally, like, I was trying to go to Galactic science groups when I was in 2010, and these people were way ahead of me. I can tell they were psychic. I wasn't psychic yet. I felt kind of like this is weird, man, because I still was, so driven by sex in those days. So those thoughts, you don't think about it until you make changes. When you realize that your soul, I'm not saying now, I see in my past, and I would say like in my 20s, mostly in my 20s, and then some in my 30s, of course, and I was like so into the Matrix. Man, why does it take me so long to wake up if I'm indigo? Some of you may be going through the same thing, going through your awakening at 50, at 60, or whatever, because I get your emails too. I get emails from all kinds of people. Because I have all these platforms, you guys, and I just got to say that real quick, because I don't just have YouTube. I have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. What? YouTube. And my website. Sorry. Well, I'm going to have a Reddit. Not Reddit. Is it Reddit? Yeah. And eventually, when I get my blog up, I'm going to have a blog and a Reddit. I'm still working on it, guys. I just got so much stuff. You know why? Now it's kind of like slow down on that part, is because some of the videos are going on, like one of them is viral. Like, it's not millions yet, but it's like over 300,000 now. The same video, the angel one. Wow. Because of that one video, I have 20,000, now 23,000 people, and only, now on YouTube is 4,400. So, this is just amazing and good news. It's like we have more Vatos, more homies, more Lyrans out there, more Indigos out there, not just Lyrans. We have a big team out there who are representing the Guardian Alliance, beings who want to help this planet and humans ascend, at least as many of you as we can in the failsafe. This is why I say I'm pointing you right to her for the advanced stuff, because she will teach you this necessary stuff. It will take me a long time to get it. Mostly I'm helping you, the beginners. Like, you guys are giving me advice, but I know where I'm going. I'm focusing on the history, and I'm focusing on some techniques, like I will do the Maharata, but mostly it's, you need to know this history. I'm going to be like the expert, like from the Guardian point of view, like on all these different races, like what exactly from these and all these workshops, you know, all in a visual, easy to understand, giant diagrams, a lot of detail. You don't have to go through the pain of looking at and putting all this in your brain. You know, like, what's that about? What's that diagram? You know, like, that's hard to understand. Look at the print. I would need a magnifying glass for that. I'm just saying, you know, you guys can get this as always. It's kind of like have it as your study guide, man. But PDF, get the PDF if you can't afford $500. This is out of print. She doesn't have the rights to print it, I guess. Anything with Azurite Press, she lost the Azurite Press name. And this is, I believe, Azurite Press. But she's selling the PDF, so she must have some rights to that. So, how you doing, Lyran Starseed? Yeah. We didn't talk about Stargates yet. Okay, yeah. The Stargates were part of the ancient Egyptian days because we had access to them, and there were beings coming in and out. And one of the Imhotep, one of these pharaohs, was actually a guardian, but he kind of like failed in his job. he was kind of being prejudiced. Actually, he was only teaching the Ceres Egyptians. He was ignoring the guardians, and they wanted them to help the Atlanteans and all that drama. And he was just teaching his people. So he was a disappointing guardian, but you know, he's one of the few guardians that were in those dynasties. And remember, he made all those big changes, and people didn't like. You know, it's in history. People don't like what he did. That's why he was killed by these dark pharaohs and things in those Egyptian Atlantean days, which is part of your heritage. Remember, we're multidimensional. Well, part of that spectrum is you in Atlantis. Maybe you're one of the ones that did the trigger to hurt your Lemurians, which is ridiculous because you lived as a Lemurian. Now, you get bleed through from those lives. You said you get a live memory. Whoa, I'm Lemurian. Now. So, we talk about past lives, but that's for newbies and beginners. You advanced ones know that it's not past, really. It's now. All those mistakes you did do, well, isn't it weird? They're happening now. Huh? No, they're not. That was a long time ago. It didn't happen now. Now's now, not that. No, yeah, you don't get it then. It's all happening now. What? No, that's like, this is right now. What are you talking about? That's not right now. Yes, it is. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's now, man. It's happening. Like, you're like this, and your supposed past is going slower vibration. Well, they're both vibrating now. Not this one first. Take turns, and now this one goes. No, they're both going now. That's why you can take a portal and go to this vibration. It's called a Stargate. There were Stargates in those days, man. The Lyrans, the Egyptians, the Indigos, they were using portals. Going through time, which is what? Changing vibration. You go through a Stargate and now you go faster or slower down here. So we call the slower part past, and this faster part future. Why? Because you're more evolved. Because you know every time vector is another evolution. But the thing of it is, let's say all of you humans got up to almost to the 3D. So a lot of people are at this level. Well, you're indigo, you have all of this turned on. They don't know what that is. What is that consciousness? Well, they don't understand my videos. Some of you are drawn to this work, drawn to Ashiana's work, this guardian work. This is guardian work. You're drawn to it? most likely you are part of this. This is part of your vibe, honey. You're vibing. You found your family. And it's not just Lyrans. We're just talking about them and the Sphinx and all that cool stuff. Because that's what this planet is. And you other starseeds are giving respects, and you're helping the human drama out too. But just remember that Sphinx, wow, check that out, baby. That's our heritage. That's our stamp. That's an extraterrestrial heritage that you have, that we all have. That's the Christ star, 12 strand. Humans are, that's their potential. That's where they're heading towards. That's what we teach here. You're connecting, but we're kind of like cheating by taking some 12-dimensional current to change the other currents. No, that's not cheating. That's smart. We're taking the 12th D because we know the 12D includes 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah, they have the full, what's called your divine blueprint, your perfect prototype body. Remember, 12 is beyond the evil in, you don't say evil, negative, is only goes up to 11.5. There is no darkness beyond that. So 12D. These Anuhazi Lyrans are in 12D. They're above those. They would love to get inside there and take that Christos down. The vibration is not going anywhere, man. So, after that, though, you got darkness. So be careful who you call God. Look at how they talk and act and say. Wow, that's some sign. That's a sign. That's a sign. That's a sign. It's not hate on religion, okay? We are love all. We are bringing this tome, and it's offered as here. You can decide. Not you must learn or else. You know, that's what a gangster says. You must, make an offer they can't refuse. Use fear. Use this dominion. Take the taxes. Take from others. A cut. I got mine. I'm taking this. Oh, nice being. No, not nice. Old paradigm. Dismiss. Dismiss toxic people. Dark conversations. Twisted relationships. Get rid of cleanse. Boot. There's my leg. You like my leg? Boot. Boot those people out, man. Do some spring cleaning, honey. Come on. Some of you know you can get a better relationship than that. What is that? Damn. You can dismiss darkness out of your thoughts, out of your relationships and conversations. And actually kind of like maybe replace with some natural, divine, positive, loving thoughts and relationships and conversations. Wow, what a game changer maybe, huh? Yes, that's why we have a community. We're trying to start a community. It always takes, you guys, when something's trying to push off for the first time, it takes maybe a few days, a few weeks, maybe in this case a few weeks. So we're trying to get our chat going. So that's anyone who becomes an archangel and above and are become a member, and you guys can be part of that community. And you guys could use that for yourselves and sometimes interact with me there, because I log in throughout the day to check out what's going on. I know some of you are part of that. Thank you for being part of that. But that's for you guys too. It will have several rooms eventually, but we're just waiting for more conversations. So come in there and feel free to chat, you guys. And so I might even sometimes we'll have a party. We're gonna have parties, and we'll do even public parties with everyone, so you guys will love the community and know what you're missing, because we have that for our members. So please become part of the team, either YouTube, or click the link to my Patreon, and then also, honestly, you guys, I get some of you asking me to help consult you, or give you some advice, or give you like, can you chat, can you talk? I can't. I don't, because I have like what do you call, all these platforms, between all of them it's a few hundred messages. I physically can't. Oh, that's why I said, what can I do? How can I do this? Well, this is part of how I can do it. You guys want, that time? That's what it is. It's part of the other parts of the membership. Some of you just want to help out. $5. Awesome, man. Thank you so much, you guys. And you guys will see it in chat. Look at that. Machitas, mochichiwa. And I love all the people, all you homies from Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Mokochi, mosatsu, machichi. I usually might get another hit, but it seems like it's pretty strong. Still. Robert Ortiz, Makaya. Oh yes, you see it on the, if you push join, it tells you the information before joining. Amatsitas, Machikewa, Amachitas, Candace. Christ in the house, what's up, Vato? You second the getting lit? Crystal Shaman of Ascension. Andrew, you're so kind. Thank you for that blessing. Yes, someday it will. Would you say 100,000? Yeah, I know. Man, I'll be a rising star when I get to 100,000 on YouTube. But I mean, that's significant, because YouTube is just extremely competitive, and you have to like prove yourself in this competitive arena. And then when you break free, because I feel like I'm slowly breaking free from that beginning sandbox. It's kind of like a sandbox. You have to prove yourself on YouTube. You don't have to on TikTok. You just can make a badass video that a lot of people suddenly like. Then it doesn't matter. YouTube, you have to prove yourself. It takes time, I believe. You can't just start with one video and be a rock star viral video. It has to have a history. It has to be. It's like they take so much precautions on Google, YouTube. So they make it stretch out until you developed a reputation with them. So I've only had like a strike because of mentioning Ashiana, so I had to be careful with that. Other than that, I make sure I'm very respectful to political topics, and not something that's not like totally like nothing negative to. That's why you always have to be like genuinely loving to all topics. I mean, kind and respectful to whatever we're talking about. And I strive to do that, you guys. So, and if you do disagree, you can tell us, but just be kind to the group, be friendly, respectful. Bright Flame. Bright Flame, you're correct. And it's like a barometer is the law of one. Like, is this person acting with unconditional love? Are they practicing? And because there is type of qualities that guardians follow, not like a dogma, not like a religion, but this is kind of like a natural thing that you just start being drawn to. Like when I was in my 20s and 30s, I was cussing all the time. My higher parts eventually didn't want that energy anymore. You connect, go on a spiritual journey, your higher parts become your filters now. Like, they become part of your higher knowledge, understanding. Yeah, now I see that differently. Man, I was going like that. Those are kind of like activations. You start freaking like, whoa, old paradigm starts dropping, pieces crumble down, and you know, it's kind of like one of those sculptures. There's just a rock stone, but they're gonna create a masterpiece out of this rock stone. Well, that's what a guardian does. They're chiseling part. You, Holy One, Indigo Child, Lyran Starseed, you guys are chiseling yourself. You are becoming your higher purpose. You're following a divine order. There is a divine order here, guys. Like, I don't mean in a bad way at all. I mean, like, there's a perfect form, the perfect structure. It's in different levels. It's beautiful to realize it's God trying to create and experience different variety. God is doing this through many different races of beings in different density forms and so many beautiful forms and expressions of the one. It's not a boy or girl, it's just all life, everything is alive, everything is God, God's thoughts. You're in that. You are that. We are this energy field. It's a field. You start seeing the higher identities as spherical spheres. I mean, that makes sense. Spherical identities. This is why this whole idea about flat Earth is nonsense. You dismiss that right away when you just know inherently, logically, spiritually, it makes sense. This is spheres within spheres within spheres, not flat and some idea of flatness. Just plane, one plane, not one plane, other planes, other spheres, within spheres. How can you encompass all without a sphere? If you went like this, then you're not getting this part and that part. Oh, a sphere encompasses all. Machiwa. It's actually, there's several sacred geometries within your structure. Like, you don't just have the sphere, you have several identities, several fields, several selves, like other selves but all together you create a field. That field of all of you at once is your family. You literally you can count them. You have a family that you can count, and you would say, if let's say you're Earthseed, you have around 1,728. This is the minimum because of the dimensions. It's a science. It's measurable. It's calculable, and that's why there's a specific number. Okay, there's a part of the system is called base 12, not this distorted base 10. To us, it's wonderful. We love the decimal system. We love the base 10 system. The higher orders are based on 12. So, now, that changes a lot of stuff when you do that. Makaye, Masuche, Mokuche, Mohana. I love you, Vato Locos. You're cool. It's like a mystery, a magic, like a crystal ball, man. Like I'm looking into this magical window is opening. Like you're peering into a Stargate. You're seeing beyond that dimension of that gate. What's a gate? Star gate. Shape of a star. Shape of a Merkaba. You're a 12th dimensional star. A Christ star. I am Christ star. I am Christ star. As you keep visualizing this Maharata liquid light, I am Christ star. See it. See that glorious I am Christ star. Because you are. That's your higher identity that you down here are trying to actually realize on Earth. When all of us out here, all of you, Starseeds, Lyran Palladian, Sirian, Orion, Arcturian, Andromedan. Man, any of you starseeds, you're gonna, okay, yes. You're bringing in your piece of the Christ. Your understanding, your wisdom, your akuchia. We are these divine beings, and we're a field on the planet. We're the Christ field. And even if you can't visualize that yet, well, put the intention there and say the words. Say what you see. You don't see it? Well, say what you see at least. At least say the words of what you're seeing, of what you want to and desire to see. You keep getting, that's the most basic level. If you can't visualize or imagine yet, intentionally at will, well, you work your way up. It's not impossible, but you have to try. Just like people who say they can't meditate, well, you have to try to get beyond that beginner level. There's actual way you can shut off all of that. I was even trying to show you guys, you can start with 1 second. Can you? How many seconds? You just keep expanding and practicing, even if you want to look at a stopwatch. That kind of keeps your left brain active. You don't want to do that, but you know what I'm saying? Have a whole hour to yourself and keep trying to see how long you can, each time, how long can you meditate for? How long can you keep those thousands, hundreds, dozens of voices, thoughts? You say voices, but you know, all these rambling thoughts, they call monkey mind. Well, guys, it's actually very important. We're doing this with consciousness. You got to work on your consciousness, your mind, and realize what that is. What is the mind? It's this. This is your mind. It's third dimensional ego consciousness, your awareness. This is your mind. The mental body has a spherical, as a literal, it's part of your auric field, which is spheres within spheres within spheres around you, also permeating you. You're in a red field. You're in a yellow field. You're in an orange field. You're in a green. Wait, I did that out of order. Red, orange, yellow. You're in a green field. You're in a blue field. You're in an indigo field. You're also in a violet field. You're also in a gold field and a silver sphere and you're also in a dark blue sphere, and you're also in a dark silver sphere, and you're also in the pure white sphere. Star, sphere. Maka, yeah. So we are bringing this in, baby, together. This field, this Christ is returning to Earth, not from a religion perspective, from a consciousness, from a universal, cosmic, divine consciousness. Because we know what goes beyond the ascended master fields, right? That's God, homie. Mochiwa. It's all God. I'm saying that's the final expansion. The all-encompassing part of the final sphere that you return to. That's why a lot of people say, return to source. This is returning to source. Here's the 3D sphere. You're trying to ascend to the 4th dimensional sphere by going through a Stargate. Oh, didn't they take over the 4th gate? You can't go there. So, you have this problems with gates and your DNA. You have problems with Ascension. Fail safe. We are learning advanced ways to get beyond. We're learning to slide in ways you didn't think about. So, it is advanced, but you are learning it because we have to. It's almost like you get some horrible disease or sickness. What are you going to do when you have to? Whatever happens, you are here to do your work. We are a nation. We are guardians Makachi. And you can see your other parts. You can see the family. You know, part of Lisa Renee's Maharata, you go down to star, you see yourself as a star in the middle of the earth. A lot of times what I would do is see myself as a star, Maharata color, liquid light, pale silver, liquid mercury color, chrome color. So you keep seeing that field, you get used to seeing it. You can see it right now. You should be able to see a geometry, a sphere, any type of shape made of this liquid metal. It's not liquid metal, but we describe it. We're trying to make it obvious of what we're talking about. Chihuahua. Look at the Silver Surfer. Look that up, Silver Surfer. It's animation, it's comic book, but you get an idea of some liquid being. Mochua. Ka'aye. These are angels. These are avatars. Souls over souls avatars. Angels, archangels, avatars. We go beyond most of these new age BS. Makaya. Man, this is like, we make a big deal about the ancient Egyptians, but you still got to make a big deal about what was going on in Atlantis. Man, they were super advanced. We were more advanced in our past. Okay, yeah. And you're doing that now. Isn't that a trip? You're there now. Yeah. And you're Lemurian now. And you're a Polaran now, whatever that is, right? Gaia Chiva. Jenny Medley in the house. Oh, Golden Hawk Oracle. Love conquers all. You said it, Holy One. Yeah. Oh, yeah? No way. 444. Look at that. I wonder who got the 4444. Somebody did. Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. I think it'll get faster to 5,000. Ireland, I'm gonna catch up to you. I love you, sister. Okachiwa. DBS staff in the house? Yeah. What's up, Vatos? Andrew Christos. Yeah, you guys, just so you know, I just, I don't do it myself, but a lot of people, well, the information, they spell Christos with a K. I'm just letting you know because I'm following the Guardian way. So if you look at some of Ashiana's old manuscripts and stuff, you're going to see it spelled with a K. Christ. And that is not some, like, just, like distortion or alteration. This is actually based on Anuhazi language, not English. Some of these words are Anuhazi, like the word Anuhazi is Anuhazi, but you would say, like, say Ascended Master, that's what we use in English. Well, the Lyran word, the Anuhazi word, is for Ascended Master is Yanas. Yanas, Y-A-N-A-S. But you could say Ascended Master, it's easier to remember, but if some of you are, like, want to be, like, real accurate or real specific, okay. You're going to have plenty of details. Like, you can call an Anuhazi, or you can call it an Emerald Order Blue Flame Anuhazi Feline Hominid. So we get very specific. We tell you how many strands of DNA they're, what planet they're from, what their polarity, what their history, what they have done. So you can get a lot of information about your own, you would say, family, or what you think you're aligned with. And a lot of people resonate with the Lyrans. But the truth is, our planet resonates with the Lyrans, because look at this sacred landmark, and that's what it was. And honest truth is, the information in Voyagers 2, it's about showing strength in a time of war. And what I mean is, they were created this structure that you see from space. These beings see the Holy Lyrans representing this unity. This is showing strength, showing unity, that the bad Anunnaki are what they would have to face. That at this time period, everyone came together, and that was like a stance, like a position. This is who has, you would say, not owns the planet. This is who is guarding this planet. We're guardians of Earth, and that is Sphinx is a Lyran stamp of this is our territory, you could say. This is our world, this is our guardianship. We're guarding these gates. All the way up. Earth, inner Earth, Tara, Gaia, Armentana. All the way up. We're guarding the gates all the way up. We're supposed to. They have win. Sometimes they take over. Sometimes they're in power. At certain levels. Not all the levels. There's war all the way up because of Stargates. And that's one of the significant things about in the name of the video, title of this video, is that gate, man, is under the pyramid. And there's a gate under the Sphinx, which takes you to inner Earth. So we have these beings been trying to get through. They've kicked our asses in parallel. They're kicking our asses here down. Are we failing? Are we gonna fail? Is it time to give up? Man, you don't know that word. That's not in your vocab, honey. We're light. What does light do? It shines, man. Ask yourself, are you shining light? Can people feel it and see it? No? Okay, you got some work to do, honey. So we work on that chakra. We work on our Merkaba. We develop this protection. We make this a core knowledge. You develop yourself, and we spread that knowledge. Makaya. We want our fellow humans to go where we belong. It's like returning to where we belong. We're schmucks. Come on, we're tired of this. You would say limitation. Distortion. You don't want to be like this consciousness, broken body and health, dying at 80, 90, 100. That'd be nice. You know, what's going on? There's something better than this. Of course. That's why this is part of a cycle, that part of it is an ending process. But there's another part not ending, it's evolving. Look, Ascension is speeding up through a Stargate. You will speed up as soon as you go through that gate. Amaka. You just joined the morphogenetic field of Tara. Now you went from Earth to Tara. You went with Earth. You ascended with Earth. When all your energies, souls, whatever you want to call them, go with Earth to Tara, you're going through this gate. But what if that gate is taken over? What if the Ascension gates are taken over? So, there's been discussion about the sphere of Amente being taken over, which, that's where all the gates are, that's where... So there's like fail-safe, and it's in this new information. new, not the 2012 and before. You don't dismiss all that. We're saying is some of the things regarding ascension have changed because of this spiritual war that is still happening. We see drama unfolding. We're in it. So things could still change. And if this is energy and consciousness, well, we're trying to get our energy unified and consciousness awakened, spiritual awakening, so we can ascend and get as many. We don't need to be in 3D. We're 5D already. We're 6D. We made an agreement. It wasn't an accident. You're here because you chose it. And if we're here to be stewards, you need to waken up yourself. You become knowledgeable about this information. You're part of the guardians. Like, for whatever her reason is, Ashiana no longer speaks publicly. Does that mean she'll never speak publicly? No. She does sometimes with Carrie Cassidy. But besides this, she doesn't. She has this information now. And this is a spiritual war. It doesn't leave anybody out. So, we are trying to be undermined. That's why when we work as a guardian, we want to be close to that 100% accuracy, right? You want to know that. Don't you want to know the true knowledge 100%? That's what most people strive for. They want to be close to the divine. They want to be close to God. So they want to focus on what we think is divine knowledge. This is the best you could possibly come close to that divine knowledge, man, on this planet. And it's interesting because it documents all the previous times that the fallen angelics, when it was starting to go negative and bad and things were getting taken over by these dark illuminated ones, well, Makaya, they've done this when Jesus was around. Oh, even after, first France had Indigo children come through called the Cathari. And it's mentioned maybe a tiny smidgen in history, but there's an actual guardians then. And before that, it was in Jesus' period. Jesus was one of the three speakers. So he was teaching innerchristos law of one. I know that's a huge topic in another video, but that's part of this Voyager's information, this innerchristos information. We will talk about Jesus a lot. Not from a religion perspective, but from the guardian. Who was he, really? I think I saw someone in chat mention it. It's Jeshua, by the way. The guardians would call him Jeshua, kind of like the Hebrews, Jeshua, Sananda, Melchizedek. Sananda Melchizedek is his fourth density identity, his avatar level identity, Sananda Melchizedek. Remember, we all come from Melchizedek originally. This entire time matrix is Melchizedek. But anyways, we are, different levels of indigos. We're not all that level, but we don't do hierarchy either. We love each other for who we are. Okay, so you can look at the mainstream story of Jesus, and you can see what's law of one and what's not. So that's your barometer. As a guardian, she talks a lot about love. Like there's three types. There's something called tough love too, and we learned they're called attitudes of mastery. You could probably look up Kathara attitudes of mastery. Kathara, Kathara. Actually, there's different levels of Kathara, and that's one of the things you can learn from Ashanadine. Now Yasha Ashanan. So we are, you know, responsible for learning Ascension. It's not quickie. It's not overnight, but you have to start, you know. And like I said, if there's a paywall, then I would say get as much of that information online as you can and start from the oldest stuff. Like sliders would be a great way to go for Ascension. But I don't know what you need to understand sliders 1 though. There's sliders 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 12. There's 12 sliders, and you know each one is a giant workshop. But that's what this is. It's spiritual science, not just learning good stuff. You actually run energies and meditate and do kinds of stuff. And that's my battery. Let me switch the diagram on. I just have to turn out my battery real quick. What the hell? Okay. I just was on the wrong diagram. I just got switched my battery. I have so much fun hanging out with you guys, man. What's up? Look at my Lyran shirt. Yeah. It's on my back, too. Do the Lyrans actually look like that? Well, look at the Sphinx. Well, that's the density 3 appearance, maybe. Look at the walls of Egypt. Maybe that's Sekhmet, but what is it really representing, right? Mokoye. Dibia Staff, what's up, Vato? PlayStation. No way. That's so cool, right? See, you're drawn to the Lyran feline beings. Do you have to like cats to be in Lyran? No? Come on. Oh. Yeah. Yeshua. Amakaya. Oh, so much love, the flame. Thank you. Bright Flame, thank you for your information. Amakaya. Yeah, we talk about Father God. It's not like a... the Guardians don't see God as a gender, like male or female. You realize that's lower density. And while everything's God, that's an expression of God in density, in a lower density. It's not... the you know, people call the Almighty God or whatever. This is no longer even the same. See, that's why when you don't understand density, dimensionalized of reality of the levels, those are physical levels, spirit levels, energy levels. And if you don't realize that, it's hard to explain what is, you know, a God. What is, you know, these beings called angels or whatever you want to kind of like identify them as. And isn't it interesting how the Bible will mention like an extraterrestrial race called the Nephilim? That's actually one of the dark races, dark as in negative, who were against us in Atlantis and part of the, you know how there's a positive Anu Melchizedek? Well, there's a fallen one called the Templar Melchizedek. The illuminated ones. So those just keep coming through history, just like the Guardians, you, Indigos, keep coming through history. We don't come all the time, we come during ascension cycles. So, And according to the information, or I remember Ashiana saying that we've been coming since the 1750s. Around 1750 is when Guardians first started, you would say Indigo Children first started coming in. Okay? So imagine there must be ancient families of Guardians. I mean, they had children. Those children are of race line. What we call the Magi Holy Grail King line. Because it goes all the way through the periods of time. Indigos are coming through all the periods of time, just like the illuminated ones are coming through the periods of time. We're not necessarily 100% human, and neither are they. Isn't that interesting? What's really interesting is they're coming down, but we're part of them. We're a piece of them. That's why they're the Starseed, contributing your future DNA. That's why they help the Earthseeds build their DNA all the way up to strand 6. Remember, it took 6, but it took 7 races to do that, because there's 2 races in strand 1. Okay, so the Polarans and Hopperbornians did strand 1. Lemurians, consciousness, did strand 2. Those are your lifetimes there. Those are your lifetimes there. 12 in each one. 12 here, 12 lifetimes. Boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, 12, and then 12 here in the 3rd strand. That's why there's right there, there's 144 lifetimes just in dimension 1, 2, and 3. 144 different personalities, different characteristics, different experiences. Sometimes a girl, sometimes a boy, sometimes Anglo-Saxon, sometimes a Spaniard, sometimes an Atlantean, sometimes a Lemurian. You know, they were using ascension gates to incarnate. I say the word were. So we are like, got some pretty fascinating history. We just weren't taught that. I remember history class being totally different. And of course, there's different ideas about how the pyramid was made, and how the Sphinx, what the Sphinx, and what blah blah blah. Now you get straight there from this Guardian manuscript, which is your barometer is, hey, look at it, read it, understand it, feel it. Do you feel it? Do you want to be like light? Are you not ready for light? Do you like dark? Doesn't mean you smack around your girlfriend or boyfriend. It just means that, wow, you don't believe in all are equal. To you, it's normal to be lower people, looking at people derogatory. Even girls, a lot of guys are macho ego and thinking women are just objects, slap them around, control them, whatever. That's not all men, of course, so I'm just saying there's a population of you who think of women, well, why? Because there's a patriarchy. Your religion, most religions are patriarchies. And there's a whole story how the woman was created out of the godly male's rib cage. Yeah, okay. Now you get to be the king of the council, huh? How are women doing on that? How do you feel about that? You're a woman. Guess what? I read a comment from some woman saying, oh, women need to be directed by men because women would cause lots of problems. That was a woman saying that. Oh, nice. I love you, sister. Okay? You can have your, it's kind of like, you start with loving yourself. You start with making, not being downtrodden. You know your value. You know your worth. You know that you're part of God. If you don't think you're part of God, then you're going to be like a sinner, a guilty person, a shameful person, a person who's being victimized, basically, by macho chauvinist patriarchy, and also by a sexist God, and also by, wow, this is fun life. You have to live in sacrifice too, by the way. You have to follow A and do B and do C and D. Oh, guardians, free will, you're God. It doesn't even say be good. It just says you're God. But you can be loving and good. That's what you naturally gravitate to. Because down here, we're not loving. We're not sweet. Not mostly. Because mostly we're the opposite to each other. But I'm not speaking for all of you, of course. We're a small minority. Around 15 million of us, I would think. You know, officially 10 million or so, but because this information is from 20 years ago, 2002 for this, but 1998 for the first one. Remember, get the PDF. And I have to publicly say, I think I already did, that I can't 100% say this is accurate or not. This is not the law of one we speak about. This is not Ashianadine. Look. It's got someone else as an author. It's not her work, but these are people claiming to be six-dimensional beings channeled and talking the law of one. And there's 5 books, and I haven't read them all, to be honest. I read some of it and saw what I saw was good information. I didn't read all of it. But to me, in my mind, I didn't care because I wanted to focus on what I resonated was the true representation of what people follow in the higher stellar worlds. It's not an earth thing. This is a universal. She explains how it's coming from the Akkadic level. This information is coming from the Akkadic level, which you guys know is the Ascended Master level. And that's her heritage, 48 strand Akkadic level Ascended Master. So a lot of us are maybe coming as Indigo type 2s, but there's a lot of you also coming in between the past, I would say 15, 20 years that are Indigo type 3s. Otherwise, a lot of us older, we're like your uncles or aunts, like the older Indigo brother saying, hey, what's up, youngsters? You know, like, you guys are blossoming into your own mastery, man. You're gonna be little Indigo, adepts. You'll be like right at the tip of your tongue, be able to speak guardian, perspectives. That's what we are, right? You know, one day you will see UFO. One day you might be aboard and see higher level beings, or you might just see it in a dream, like in a caves, in a meditation. To me, in my personal life, they came in a ship, man. I saw them in a ship, and I saw them in my dreams. And some signs you just feel, deep inside you feel was a sign, like something was actually trying to communicate me. That's beginning. One day you will see bigger stuff. You will realize bigger stuff. It has to happen. It will happen. Just keep focusing on that. Putting yourself there in those higher ideals. You can do it, man. You're not alone. All of those levels of yourself are right in here. In your DNA. We're learning how to activate that, baby. Come on. We're gonna... we're gonna bring in that light no matter what. Whatever is coming here or happening here, we're gonna still shine together. Like we're speaking together. Like we're showing up in this Christ consciousness is showing up, coming together. Maka, yes. We're gonna transmute those old ideals, paradigms. We're gonna do some spring cleaning, baby. We're gonna start dismissing and cleansing. Cleanse your shit, man. Come on. Some of you got some dank, stanky energies. When is the last time you cleansed, purified? Use some sage. I don't mean stick incense, honey. That is nasty chemical. Are you aware of energy? Okay. You don't use chemical. You use resin, or you use some type of... I'm not telling you what to do. This is a energy conversation. Crystals, sound, crystal bowls, those things that ring. You get used to sound. Check out some cymatics. It's called cymatics. Cymatics. And notice that how sound precurses light. Within sound, you will see geometry. How? I thought you need light. Kochiwa. It's so amazing. We realize what you are, man. You're like an ascended master or suffering in third dimension? Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's possible. It's possible that we forgot in 11th dimension, and we forgot in the 10th dimension, and we forgot in the 9th, 8th, 7, 6, 5, 4, and we're still forgetting in the 3rd dimension. You don't remember that you're God? You are. You feel it, you see it, you know it. It's not a belief, it's not a hope, it's a realization. So if you are suffering, Holy One, you can heal that. There is a possible solution, which is most likely energy. Cancer, for example, is energy. It's something you can interact with. Everything is part of the hologram. Just realize everything is a vibration of some current, some consciousness. Everything is alive. This stick is alive. That book is alive. This crystal is alive. A rock is alive because what? It's a hologram field, which is what? Made of consciousness. All the way down to the most tiniest particles, what the guardians teach us and remind us about, the ultra micro particles, which goes beyond the quark. Beyond quark. So we find something called the scalar field. Okay, you go beyond the chemical DNA into the scalar structure, which is crystalline. And we are seeing different levels of that. There is no such, matter in this. What I mean is, it's not part of our level on density 1. You start developing crystal in your matter form starting in density 2, and then there's different levels of that. We can, most of us are only imagining 3D looking beings, but it's the lowest level of imagination. Aim higher. Go into ghost-like beings, spirit beings you call them. Those are higher level than you. Not some dead person necessarily that's disembodied consciousness. No. Some of those are crystal beings. Some form of crystal. Some form of ghost-like to you from your perspective. You see one of those beings who are made of crystal. Some type of crystal. Because that's matter form. Levels of crystal. You don't think crystals are important? I swear, I had someone come up to me in a UFO conference. You don't need those. I love you, Holy One. What's up, vatos? Okaye masutas. Yeah, trippy and beautiful. And it's like we think of this reality as being real, when even if you had a lucid dream, you would realize the lucid dream is more real than this level of reality. But maybe some people don't even have lucid dreams because they're not connected to that chakra level. Astral chakra, the archetype chakra, 5D, or the third eye, 6th dimension chakra. Family member, meow, mash, meow. Mish, sorry. You've seen symbols in sunlight and clouds. There we go. You guys are catching on. It's about you're gonna see things that other people don't see. You're gonna appreciate things that other people don't. It's a transformation, you guys. We were born into a negative type of world. Even if you were raised like loving parents, the world, the public, public schools can be brutal to your kids who are behaved, for example. They might not come out like that anymore, But we have to, be affected by people who are around in school, but also work, and also in the public or government or whatever. We're involved with people who aren't like us, nice or non-judgmental. We get to experience people who are kind of like the opposite, unfriendly. They don't want to smile. They don't want to wave. They'll just avoid you. Or be mean to you or judge you. The way you look, how you talk, what you believe is your faith or whatever. They will try to find something to bring you down. Why? You're a guardian, a light worker, empath, a Lyran Starseed. You are higher because you've been through this already. I was trying to finish that thought. You don't need to come here. But you came here not to learn lessons. You came here to help the Earthseeds. We're meant to be examples for them because we're stewards, because we're like alumni. We graduated already. We gained access to those gates already. Oh, we've been here. But we love you. The Guardians are filled with it. This is why they came to a dangerous time period in consciousness. I mean, we haven't always been so horrible. I mean, this isn't our normal state. I remember this in Captain Kirk, in this, it was a movie, the fourth one, where they go back in time and to change something, and something with the Borg and going around the sun and going back in the past. That was cool. And one time he said to the woman, he says, "You're not finding us at our best." You're an indigo, man. People don't realize you're from a high level, but you just look like a normal punk kid probably, until you wake up. But you're always, if you're indigo, you're always gonna have some extra creativity, some extra intelligence, or some extra, engineering skills, or something with computers. Your mind goes in some, like, you're very excellent in some specialized areas. Me, I was into computers. I built my own. I built this computer years ago. I spend my life in front of a computer. That's only because that's the way I love to do input. I do walks. Don't worry. I go outside in the sunlight. I eat healthy because of my family feeds me pretty good, and I pay some rent here, but I do need to get on my own. I'm renting a bedroom, but eventually I'm supposed to be on my own 2 feet again, and I know I will, because this is devoting myself to this. And some of you make changes, big changes, right? and some of those are uncomfortable. Like, I had a, you know, I could tell you some of my personal life. I had a, not necessarily, well, it was an abusive stepfather. So my mom had to take us out of that situation. And she did, eventually. She left. Took all three of us. Well, you guys might have to change your freaking relationships that are big. And face, you know, trials and tribulations. That's basically what I did. I made choices that would focus on the light, focus on the guardian information, and I suffered financially and stuff like that because of that decision. And I haven't let myself get involved in relationships, not because I don't like women or something, because I just been healing and developing myself. I have a grown-up daughter. So actually, it's her birthday on Sunday. And doesn't mean that's the reason not to have a relationship. I just focus on spirit, man. I love this, wherever this journey takes me. As I learn more about this new guardian information, I don't know if Sedona is my final destination. It might be Peru. I'm not sure. Isn't it interesting that I've already been brought in my life to Peru? So, but it all comes down to the gates for the guardians. I'm going to be around a gate. I'm going to live by one. Either Sedona or the one in Peru. Just depends on resources and circumstance. I know I need to visit a few places. Like, one of them's going to be Mount Shasta. I haven't done Mount Shasta yet. I know I'm supposed to. And it's not far from AZ. I don't have an excuse. Isn't it way north, though? Kind of north. I'll get there. I'll fly there someday, maybe travel there in my... Actually, probably will never fly again. I'm probably going to stick to boondocking my way across Arizona, across California, or go up Nevada and then go into Mount Shasta. And then go back to Peru or go back to Sedona. I don't know where. Life will get me there. The circumstance will get me there. So, I have to say though, when I went to Hawaii, I was extremely, like surprised. I was like, whoa. That I wasn't on Kauai, but I know I was near the Guardian base there. There's a Guardian base there. And so when you think about the things that you went through in your life, look back upon, you will know why that happened. Like, I went through kind of like hell, really, you know. You guys won't believe this, but I lived in my storage unit before I lived in the desert. They had to eventually ask me to leave, or they didn't say it like that. The managers were very caring to me, and they knew I was sleeping in my storage. But they have security, they have cameras and microphones, and so I was like, had to eventually leave, you know. I was running a extension cable to get power. I was renting in one of the storage units, so I was paying for that. But I was led to there. I went there to the desert, and I saw a freaking UFO. And I was taken, I believe, for a reason. I went to Hawaii. For a reason, I went to Peru. And you guys will go through your own reasons. Why I was forced to move. Why did I go there? Why did I break up with that person and then meet that person? You will know that you're not alone as an indigo dude. There's a team of people actively working, whether you're aware of them or not. I believe that we have our own personal, like, entourage that might be helping you. You can call them angels, guardian angels, but dude, it's really either some beings astrally connecting to you from density 2, or it's some of these higher guardians, or maybe it's just guardians outside the solar system or inside the solar system. Okay? Just like there's rings of Saturn doing some things, well, there's other positive things. We are meant to go through space stuff. You're meant to, like, you know, be in the stars. Starseed. Yeah, we're on Earth, we got a Sphinx, we're Lyrans, but you're meant to go into space. Visit other worlds, be galactic, be intergalactic, interdimensional. Man, this ordinary life of just this in taxes and working and just kids and wife and stuff. No. You go to other planets, meet other species, learn knowledge from that being, meet that, you know, like, it's like a ghost, but you can communicate to that being. There's a whole nother life. It's not boring, traveling in your consciousness through different worlds, different possibilities, different realities. You don't be scared. Don't see it. Don't dwell on demons and angels. Learn how to use sage. Learn how to use... Here's a good smell. Palo Santo. Don't use stick incense, please. Don't use scented candles. Chemical. You want sage. Something you burn, and it's an herb, a dried herb. That's a perfect one. You can use... There's an excellent substitute, and that would be sweetgrass. So sweetgrass, sage, and there's desert sage, there's white sage. These smell so good, and so does Palo Santo, dude. Palo Santo smells awesome. Even a tiny little bit of smoke of Palo Santo in your room. Real, no, not stick incense, but this is wood. You're using woods or dried herbs or resin, like sap. These are actual incense, not synthetic chemicals that are more dangerous than cigarettes. You want that in your prayer, in your magic or healing? Okay. You want scented candles? You want that? Dude, I get sick if I light a candle in a closed room. You can smell the freaking chemical. You can smell the... Oh, what is it burning? So, I don't burn it. I don't want to smell that crap. You know it. You feel it. You take a whiff and you should know it. Oh, it's pretty. It smells good. It smells like a flower. It's not a flower. You want real flower smell? Burn some dried flowers. And maybe do it yourself. Maybe grow the flowers and make incense from them. I know it's cool incense. It's convenient. It's cheap. But honey, we're just trying to do things like go on better diets and do better lifestyles like yoga, go for walks. You know, we're trying to be progressive. We're trying to change to something like an improvement of a sort, not like, you know, like nothing. We didn't come here to be neutral. It's almost like you want to utilize this life because it is real short, only 80, 90, hopefully. Dude, my grandma lived to 98. Yeah, she was awesome. I hope I come close. But you guys, we have to aim higher than that. When you start, did you know you can be immortal? Eventually you will. we can't really, it's hard to be immortal here because you can't ignore the planetary fields being reversed. When we take over the like peacefully, the Christ consciousness awakens on Earth, then you can oh, those little mangy little creatures. Now we do that lovingly. You don't have to go like that. Maybe you just want to pick up and, sorry, not anymore. Sorry. Gently, lovingly. Or just put it. A dark fallen archangel, archdemon, illuminated one. A chosen one. Ichiwa Makai Mamaichi. You guys call BS. You don't have to be rude about it. You're a loving person. You're a non-judgmental person. But you don't allow them to troll you, and you're not a sheep. Look at the Sphinx. Does that look like a sheep? This is not a sheep. It doesn't mean you're a carnivore either. Do you think the Guardians were eating little animals? No. And actually, dude, if you think about it, what kind of world is it when life has to devour other life? Like, to survive? No. That is not the natural order. That is a horrible distortion. Those are the type of things we talk about here on Christos Avatar. You're going to learn how reality is a hologram. You're going to learn how reality is dimensionalized in different matter form, not just carbon matter. Come on. Expand into other matter form, and then even if you expand to the next matter form, at least you will know and understand so much more than just a carbon point of view. Okay? What's the definition of life? Carbon matter. If it's carbon, it's life. Only. If it's not life. You already skipped past their video, just like you do on TikTok and Instagram or whatever. You just slide that conversation. You just slide that false creed. You just take that fallen and angelic and aim it right there. You can have your friend go like this, and you just chewa. Call bullshit, man. God is loving. God is unconditional love. God does not judge. God is loving, unconditional. No conditions. You are a guilty sinner. No conditions. Sorry. No conditions. I love you. I hate you. I love you. No condition. I love you. You hate me. I love you though. Some race. Someone's been picking on me all my life. I love you. But I'm not your doormat. I'm not your, I'm not your victim anymore. I am severing this relationship. I am saying goodbye. I'm closing that door, that email, making changes, and you will feel liberated, man. How am I going to survive? How am I going to pay groceries? He pays the bills. What? Well, you have to live life differently. You will find a solution or be a victim. Keep that cycle going or transmute. You start aligning and things start opening to you. You get rid of those self-loathing concepts, guilt concepts, fear concepts. Dude, it actually does something to your being, to your energy, to not be in those fields. Those are dark fields, man, that the human race is falling into the phantom. You will fall. Everybody has a part in the darkness, man. According to the information, we all have a phantom. If we have parts of our consciousness in phantom Earth, you have some darkness, some shadow that you want to heal. And you don't know about those things, those parts of you, you can't. It's like, you know how people try to take pills or pharmaceuticals. They're trying to heal a sickness or a pain, but it doesn't. It just helps you with the symptoms. Well, that system, there's something better than that. Okay? And you're going to learn to go underneath those limitations, because you're going to go to what's called the template, the scalar template. Remember, behind the chemical DNA is the scalar body, the crystal body, the energy system, the energy structure. Scientists don't believe in things they can't see, measure, and categorize. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. You know better. Remember, this is not faith. You want proof? I get some of your comments saying I want proof. Show me your proof. Okay, Lee, I've been there. I wanted to see, oh, it's bullshit then. It doesn't exist. Oh yeah? Dude, you feel it. You see. You experience. It's not bullshit. It does exist. And not just in your mind. No, it's a field, that it's a collective, it's a group. I'm not the only one. You're not the only one. There's a bunch of us can see spirits, beings, guides, aliens, UFOs, can feel currents. You're not the only one. But it's not meant just for a special group. We're supposed to all awaken to, we're supposed to go from this. We're supposed to go from this to this and this to that. Not just some of you. All of us are supposed to evolve and go to this lessons. These are spiritual lessons. Survival is a spiritual lesson. That's your first chakra. The second chakra is emotion and sexual drives. This is mental consciousness and lessons in mind, the mind body, the mental body. This is new lessons, higher lessons, more higher. You got more lessons, honey. Don't have this attitude like I am an indigo and you're not. You haven't learned shit, have you? You don't come in here and say I know this stuff and you don't. No. Are you serious? We are loving, equal. We treat people equal. Hey, what's up? I love you. I don't care what you look like or what you because I get people saying stuff. Based on what you look like. It's so like shallow, so immature. That's the word. Spiritual immaturity. Come on, guys. Like some people watch my videos, there's always now and then you're gonna get someone commenting, "Oh, you're just high." Did you hear anything I had to say tonight, you guys? I'm not just high. There is something working here, something. Bright flame. Yeah, you see that, you guys, it's a process. Don't give up, and realize that, I remember for myself, that was one of my hardest things, dude, was to visualize. I couldn't, at the beginning, it was like, it seemed impossible. But what I did was just, I started learning memory techniques. Like, that helped improve things there's systems of memory. You can memorize speeches and use special techniques to memorize a whole bunch of information, and you can learn how to speed read faster than normal and still understand it. You can do things to keep on evolving yourself, but also with psychic abilities. You learn meditation, you learn breath work, you learn knowledge too. This information is full of knowledge. You want to learn she put the Maharata shield here, man. You can look and find what page number. My reading glasses are over there, but like the end. Look at the end. See how skinny it is down here. At the end is all these diagrams, dude. A bunch of information, dates, histories, structures of reality. These are the things on the planet. Like, there's a technology that the Anunnaki and Draconians are using. Man, the things that they do are so freaking sinister. And I'm gonna be making videos about all these eventually, and it's stuff like this that I put in videos, so you don't have to read all this. There's not many pictures, but so it's kind of like hard to grasp on your first read through. If you get through all of this. This has all of the Egyptian history, Atlantean history, Lemurian history, how the Atlanteans made the stupidest thing to all of us. Thanks, Atlanteans. Thanks to the fallen angelics. Thanks to the Marduk Anunnaki, the Inky Anunnaki, the Enlil Anunnaki, the Pleiadian Semyasi Luciferian Anunnaki. Thanks to the Jehovian Anunnaki, thanks to the Necromaton Beetle people and their men in black and their different creatures and races and things. It seems like freaking insane and crazy and scary, but it's not meant. It's meant for you to realize what we're in. This is humans at a very low level and a very precarious situation. So, gosh, who knows what's going to happen? And we're just like, man, meditating, building our Maharic shield, running current, learning how to do trident currents, learning how to do the advanced stuff with your Merkaba. You're not doing any of that? Don't wait on me because it's too serious. I will come out with it, but don't wait for me to come out with it. Start reading other people's stuff on it. Like Ashana's stuff. Some of the free stuff you might find. And I make the pledge to you guys to make this chronological, and eventually it'll be very organized, even directing you for her information, so you guys know, because there's no one else doing this. There is no central organization with this information because it's 20-year-old book. So we do the best we can with what we got. And there's real The guardians have brought ascension knowledge here. It's to each and every one of you to learn how. And mostly it's about your chakra, your Merkaba, and there's other advanced stuff to learn. So if you at least start on that, you will be heading in the right direction. To the point where you can feel some current moving when you learn the technique. To be completely honest, Lisa's Renee Maharata shield technique is different than Ashiana's. It's kind of like she made a twist. So if you want to learn straight up from Ashiana's, look, it's different. It takes this. It teaches you the mentor technique, Ashiana. You're going to learn the mentor technique, which is learning to bring a fifth dimensional aspect of yourself to be right over your right shoulder. And you learn how to put that up there first. And then you get used to having this fifth dimensional consciousness right here in the shape of a white sphere. You get used to seeing like the size of your fist, but then you see it get as big as a basketball, and there's this big basketball size energy. That's the mentor technique. And it doesn't take long. You get used to seeing a blue flame behind your navel area. You see inside the flame, the blue flame, a little white sphere. Now imagine a white sphere surrounding you completely. You're completely immersed in white energy light inside a sphere. Now expand back out. You see it down behind your navel. Then you inhale and bring it up to your third eye, where you're seeing it in your straight with your third eye. You see the sphere. Then you see it move to this right shoulder and get bigger, as the biggest size of a basketball. So that's there. Now you do the Maharata. Lisa's didn't start with the 2 stars, but it's made of 2 stars. It's a pure white star and a pure dark gray star. 2 color stars representing dimension 12 and dimension 11. Particle, antiparticle. This is the symbol. Remember, it's color, sound, light, color, sound, symbol code. This is the symbol. This is how you're going to move current. It's a geomancy. It's scalar technology. Okay? So we're moving it. In this technique, you see the 2 stars, a white one. First see the white one. See the white one. See the white one. You see it in your third eye, and then you move that. So you got the white sphere, the size of a basketball, and the 6-pointed star. Now you got these at the side of you. Now you see the gray star. Now you see those 2 stars combined. Now it's this new color. It's now the Maharata color, but in your mind, no, that's 2 stars. 2 color stars, now 1 bandwidth or color waveform, which is the color waveform of Maharata, Christ consciousness. So it's in your third eye. You see it in the middle of your head. You send it all the way down, all the way through your chakras, all the way down through your feet, all the way to the earth, all the way to the middle of the earth. You see that star spinning all the way down, spinning 2 stars, spinning around. You see it go to the middle of the earth. It starts to now stay in the middle and spins around faster and faster, and it turns into a ball. Out of the ball, which is Maharata, liquid light ball, out of that comes the field. Now the field is like a disc, a circular disc. Like a little disc. Like, this is a disc. A platform. A disc platform. So a disc platform is what your shields are. This concept of your shields. The planet has shields, you have shields, and the Maharata shield is 6 inches below your feet. But you're not there yet. You first have to, you bring it to your 12th chakra, which is 6 inches below your feet, And the technique is going to teach you how to bring it from there, bring it to your higher, above your head, bring it back down to below your feet. Lisa's doesn't do all that, but she at least simplifies it so you can start. Watch her video after mine or whatever, and start with Lisa Renee's 12D shield technique. And then learn now. So you start now and then learn it from Voyager's PDF. Get a Voyager's 2 PDF and learn it. It's in there. It's just, you could probably Google it. Maybe you can Google the 12D Maharic shield technique and find it on a website. I'm just telling you that because I don't want you to wait for me. I want you guys to start doing these techniques now. Spend 30 minutes of your day. Spend an hour of your day. If you're hardcore, spend a couple hours. In this time, half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, spend that time practicing energies and learning knowledge. If you got more free time, spend more free time. It shouldn't be about free time. It should be about you moving your schedule around to focus on this. I'm not sitting here trying to make myself just only about me and bolstering my channel. Man, this is, you notice I'm sending traffic to Ashiana. Because I care. I truly want you to know how to do this. Just keep watching my videos because I'm teaching you about the history. Like, you know, I have the ability to gather all this workshop information that I've seen. And I'm still learning workshops. But at least I can put my experience and my, what I call contribution. I'm not going to change anything. Only contribute by making, like, say, a more colorful, more evolved diagram. Just realize if you want true hardcore, just straight up techniques, she's the one. She's the one. I'm going to teach you other stuff. So my channel is helping you awaken and help you make sense out of some of the advanced stuff. I promise you that. That's my pledge to you. To take this advanced Merkaba, chakra, ascension stuff and make it visual. Make it explained in diagrams and in articles so it's in pictures and, you know, and we'll do it in Zoom conversations. We'll have membership parties. Man, this is going to be a movement, a Christ consciousness movement, an indigo child movement, a Chihuahua, Lyran, Pleiadian, Orion, all of you. Wow, Holy One. 999, yeah! See, love that number. Thank you for your achua. Thank you, Holy One. You're awesome. 999. Faith, love. Something good is going to happen. Faith. You said it, man. I mean, think about it, you guys. The alternative is to put jinxes in your energy. If you don't have faith in yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, because you were told that. Some of you were told that over and over. You can't do that. You can't. Oh, yeah? I can. So you know that you can. Love yourself. Have faith. Believe in yourself. No. Get used to that feeling. That's why you need to be getting rid of all the vampires in your life. Man, that's going to be liberating, right? You've been living with that baggage for a long time. You've been getting those toxic people for a long time. Not anymore. Now you know some even basic information to know when someone's not treating other people equal, for example. Someone who doesn't mean you, once again, this is a double-edged sword. It doesn't mean you start pointing your fingers at people and saying they're this and that. We don't judge. It's not easy, right? It's not easy loving everybody, trying to love everybody. It's not easy putting up with people being mean to us. But it's a master plan. You eventually move your life around So you're not even engaging those kind of people. Eventually you'll get to a place of safety in your life, a place of freedom and liberty, and you'll start like living maybe once finally in your life. And then hopefully that engenders a blast of energy, a blast of creativity. You'll start thinking outside the box and thinking about how you're going to make changes in your life and other people's lives. Hey, that's a good contagious thing. That's contagious, right? Man, this is awakening, and it's a group effort. We're loving on each other. We're like giving shouts out to each other. Yeah, man. And it's also going to be exhilarating to learn to evolve our civilization into a good way, in a positive, evolving way, not the old way of tyranny, slavery. You must pay. You're gonna pay some taxes. You're gonna pay some something. You're gonna pay. No. We're gonna evolve to free energy. Are you allowed to even say that? No. Okay. But no, we will. This is a consciousness that changes the world. 12D consciousness. Within law of one. I don't see it working without it. Do you? Plus, there's some things you have to learn about this failsafe, which I'm not up to par yet. That's why I'm pointing you there. We have to, if we're gonna have this intention as a group of people that we are going to ascend as a group, we are teaching each other. We're not gonna leave any of our group out. We're gonna help heal each other's. Man, I see a lot of your guys' comments from all my platforms. There's hundreds, right? And a lot of you have pain. You've had bad circumstances. Yes. But we're not going to get healed, you guys, from mainstream religion. We're not going to get healed from science, logic only. We're learning these true, ancient records, and this is such a huge body of information. Everything from Stargates, DNA, bioregenesis, healing, the divine blueprint, going back towards, learning about our past, learning about what is God, learning about what you are. The macrocosm naturally reflects into our microcosm. So when you say flat earth, it doesn't match the macrocosm, honey. That's not the macro, as an example. So you can still get something out of religion, I guess. You can still get something out of science, but at the same time, there's a whole body of non-polarized information. Not here, not here, but here. All. I love girls, and girls love boys, but when we're up here, we're not boys and girls. This definition of God needs to expand to a much larger, reality, not just from a carbon matter. Because what can you do with carbon? You can only imagine God as being some old guy with long beard and white hair in the sky, and he's angry and stuff. But it's not even that. That's not even what God looks like or would look like, or not even close. We're just, even the ideas of what an angel is, that's a depiction from some Renaissance artist. How long ago was that? And now we all think that's what angel is.
looks like because of some Renaissance artist. Because you got different descriptions in the Bible. Like, when they went to Lot, those angels, they look like humans, but real lovely humans. And then there's descriptions of angels that look like weird, bizarre creatures. That's an angel, but look how it's described. Then you got giants and men of wonder and men. Some type of hybrids, it sounds like to me. Not only human, but special races of crazy type of hybrid beings. But when you get an Anunnaki manuscript, it doesn't tell you the whole story, does it? It also takes, a lot of truth and just kind of things get taken out, things get put in. Now what do you believe in? I don't know. Not the original stuff that teaches you how to be loving and non-judgmental. Because now there's judgment. Now there's fear. No, not before. It was unconditional. There was not creator gods. What are you doing, creator gods? Are you kidding me? There's no creator gods. I got someone really indignant on one of my comments. They said, "Oh, the black people were my people were not, the Anunnaki made those are my homies." Okay. I guess you can identify, but we know better. So we're a hodgepodge. We're a smorgasbord of races, okay? But notice that all of these races, different colors. Why? How can Earth start from one people and get different kinds of people? You don't get one skin and get many different skins and futures and types and things. That implies, wow, there's more than one race, but we're all on the same planet together. Okay, so these are all different types of races on our planet with different color skins, but it's still in the same planet. This is part of a big project, and it starts in Atlantis and beyond into Lemuria, beyond into Polaria, Hyperborea, which is actually done in Gaia. There's a special exception with Strand 1. They had to do it Strand 1 in a unique way. Strand 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are all done on Earth. So we grow to this realization that, man, we're kind of like badass. We've lived all those thousands, millions of years. We've been wiped out a few times. We're like, that spirit is alive still. We're some of us are gonna be getting out. Machira. You're super badass, Nikki. Apple Tree. Thank you for being here, Holy One. You guys, sorry for my squeaky bed. Am I gonna use D4? What's that? D420 or what's it called? Shit. Yeah, New Age is horrible. Because you know why New Age is horrible? Because it's a movement that was designed by the fallen angelics. It's also the UFO movement, but the New Age movement is mostly about channeling and then contacting their chosen ones. And then creating all these false ascension mechanics. Why? Because it's all explained in that one video about the... but they need us to run the grids in reverse. So they have to teach us how to do it. We don't know, you know. Like Drimvalo, he's teaching you these false teachings. He's so sweet, man. He's so kind. He seems like it, right? Yeah. He's really good on camera and knows how to speak to a group. So, anyways, guess who his teacher was? He says it publicly. Thoth. That's right. That's another red flag. Thoth is my teacher. Okay. Amachiwa matatewa. Anyways, it's not a Drimvalo bashing thing. We love you. Grow up, Holy One. Any of those beings who are trying to trick, harm, distort, fool, poison. We stick together and say, hey, just be careful of that one. Oh yeah, they're brilliant, right? I mean, they are dark, but extremely brilliant. Okay, do Lyrans like Orions? Good question, No Heart Kappa. Remember, there's good humans, bad humans. There's good Pleiadians, bad Pleiadians. There's good Lyrans. I'm sure of course there's bad Lyrans. So, do Lyrans like Orion? Well, the good ones don't judge. We don't have any. The ones following Law of One have no problems with Orions or anybody. Doesn't matter if they're from another planet, another galaxy. We're meant to be peaceful, and so are some of these other races. They are following Law of One. It's a universal thing, guys. It's not coming from some race, some people. It's like a universal law that's talked about and lived amongst the higher evolved people. And then, you know, the dark beings, they create their Bibles. The dark fallen beings, they have witchcraft, they have dark systems, magic systems. They don't mess around, man. They learn how to be psychic, attackers. They'll know how to find. They want to know knowledge so they can use it against you. Not to mention, you guys got to know, if you learn anything about the secret space program, you learn from all these whistleblowers and super soldiers that they were actually developed through torture. It was through torture they developed their abilities. That's how they do. They shock you, they brainwash you, they will wipe your memory. They know how, they have the technologies. So that's not the only route to psychic abilities. You don't have to go through suffering and torture, man. Hello, that's a dark mind, a false system, creed. But they were kidnapped and taken and used in this way, or brought up as a child in this way. They were born into it. They were designed into it. So you would say, well, when you have such circumstance, your soul family put you here. You incarnated here with this circumstance, right? It's a circumstance you're meant to, I would say, have victory over. You're supposed to, it's a challenge. You're meant to pass it. You're meant to succeed. And you can. I'm going to be wrapping this up, you guys. This has been a good group, though. You guys had a lot to say. Asbuke. The switch happens when in danger. Yeah, I know a lot of that stuff is in the political stuff. Things that the governments will do or might do. You know, look at the book of Revelations and get all afraid about it. Even if they want to try to make Revelations a real thing, They go outside of time. They have their masters, their time lords. Just like the Guardians are time lords, but nice ones. This is about Stargates, which is time travel. But that's just a resource. That's a form of travel that's being managed, So it's not us to really worry about that. We're mostly meant to concern ourselves with spiritual ascension and awakening. You better believe, though, there is motherships. There is UFOs out there. This is a lot of things are involved in this sit rep, in this drama. And yeah, there's things happening in Saturn or Nibiru. There's things happening in asteroid belts or whatever. There's a whole history here. There's a whole bunch of technologies that people aren't aware of. If you played games like space simulations or space games like Orion, there's a PC game called Orion. I also played this game called Deadlock, another space game. That's what's really kind of happening. There's ETs trying to take over us. Seems so crazy, but then you realize they're actually fallen angelics. So it's a spiritual thing, which goes to darkness, which leads you to Luciferianism, not from the Bible perspective, but from a polarity perspective. These beings have free will, just like you. They're part of what is God, just like you, but they play a game of dominion, a game of control. Some of you like to be controlling. That's your vibration. You can always change your vibration, but most of the time you don't. You want to keep being this darkness. Well, that's the path of chaos. I would rather evolve and keep evolving into some greater plateau of my mind and spirit, right? And energy. Not attack things, harm things, drain things, distort things. Oh, what a consciousness. Nice. No, it's not. I love you guys. Please stay tuned for my other new videos coming out. I'm going to try to do lives as often as I can, okay? And as long as my health is okay, I'll be doing lives and still putting out other videos. And there's always a big video in the background in the making. So I'll see you guys on the flip-flop. Thank you for being here today. You're awesome. Azubuk. Yeah, I will eventually have a schedule, and I try to tell people ahead of time. I'll get better at that, and I will have a schedule. I'm still just trying to finish some important projects. I'm going to get that blog going. I'm going to get the website up to date because it needs to be revamped. And then I will work on that forbidden history that takes you all through Atlantis and Egypt up to now. And then start teaching a lot of the technique. That's my path. If you guys need technique now, it's there from Ashiana work and maybe even Lisa Renee. I can't say I know all her work, but she's a resource to investigate. I haven't seen, most people agree on Lisa Renee as being legit. So, I love you guys. Hope to see you on my next live, and please subscribe. Please like this video if you learned something today, and leave some comments or questions. You can reach me on Facebook or Instagram, which is on fire. I believe within probably 3 days or less maybe, it should pass my TikTok, which has been the king for a while, but
I love you guys. Take care of yourself, love others. Namaste, holy ones.